Just one little binger to brighten up your day. Come on, man. Just one hit, and I gotta go.
You asshole.
What's going on, gents?
Yeah. Hey, look, let me call you back. Money. Hey, how's everybody doing? Look, fresh off the jet, sharper than Gillette, baby. I'm in the dough. We out here. How's everybody doing this afternoon, this evening? God bless you, wherever you're calling from this portion of the world. It is I, Marcus, Bryan McClay. I'm going to introduce everybody. It's Bryan McClay. Big Leg is in the house. Vinny Kumar is in the building. And I'm Marcus Egby. It's nice to meet you guys.
And by the way, you guys, I think it was this show last week that we talked about Jobu, right?
Yes.
Where we mentioned Jobu.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was. We talked about how I think we were talking about Major League for something, and I'm like, man, I wish I had a fucking Jobu figure, dude. Right? So I get a knock on my door. And there's this little package waiting there. And by the way, I still don't know who sent this. I got an idea, but I don't know who. And it's straight from the toy manufacturer. And this is what it is. This is fucking cool, dude. This is really cool. Check this out. It's fucking Serrano's locker, dude.
Oh shit. That's
cool. Right? And when you open it up, it's the locker. Right? But I got my own fucking Jobu.
Nice, dude.
Look at that shit, dude.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, bro.
Hey, man, don't say that look like me with white hair neither. Like, well, let's not even go down that street, bro. Like, that's not even. Hey, man, what's funny, Vinny? Don't even put me out there like that, Vinny. Put my business out there in the street, bro.
Bro, if you had white hair like that, dude, you could be a fucking straight up wizard, bro.
Oh, bro, I'd be a pimp for real, bro. I'd be a player from the Himalaya, Mac Daddy of the decade, baby.
So
yes,
shout out to whoever hooked up the Jobu. This is freaking great, man. So this is gonna once I get I'm getting my whole podcast set up now and all that fun stuff. So the Jobu will be on the wall. I'll have my own little Jobu.
Black Doc Brown, amazing.
Yeah, right? No shit. So
there was no return address? Like somebody just sent it? Like
no return address, like they bought it from the place and put in my address and my name.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, hold on, Bryan. Don't put Johnny Galindo's post up where he says, Marcus, stop coloring. Hey, stop putting my business out in the street. Yes, I color my hair. I've been graying since 21. Don't put me out there. I would look like that doll right now if I did not color my hair. Yes, that is 100% fact. Shout out Johnny Galindo. That's my guy. I would look like Doc Brown for real. I wonder if I could be Back to the Future. I could be Doc Brown. Like that would be so live. But maybe I'll be Doc Black. Like I don't want to be Doc Brown. Like Doc Black.
That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was awesome.
So that's funny that he said that. I wouldn't have known that. That's funny.
Yes, I color my hair. Yes.
All right. So, first of all, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, we've got we're hitting it all.
Yes.
We've got the market report to end the show. We've got tons of little news bites. We've got we're going to get into prelim art talk. We're going to talk about a new documentary coming out that looks very interesting called Selling Superman. It's a Kickstarter /documentary. We're going to talk about that. We got some news to talk about. with some the Marvel of Web3, which they're calling this new publisher or something. So we'll see what that is. And then we've got all kinds of other fun stuff. They announced, well, it kind of got leaked who Emilia Clarke is going to play in the X-Men. We're going to talk about that a little bit. There was some HBO Green Lantern news, all kinds of stuff. But first of all, it is Baltimore Comic Con weekend, and I am super bummed out that I am not going to be able to make Baltimore this year. A last minute change for Baltimore Comic Con, and I think Sean, you might be the only one of us that's going.
In here probably, yeah. Trey's not going, so yeah. If nobody's making it this year, I guess it's just me. It's pretty much the one I make it. Other than of course, like other than WonderCon, it's probably the only one I don't miss. But WonderCon doesn't really count because it's like an hour away from where I live. Baltimore is like on the East Coast, so I think as everybody knows, but I live on the West Coast, so when the East Coast people don't make it, I get sad. I'm like, man, I went really far.
Well,
one WonderCon that I had like 5 people that were going to finally come out my way, it got canceled. I don't know if you guys remember 2020 of April or anything like that, but anyway, it didn't quite happen, so that sucked.
I'm gonna tell you, Sean. Don't worry. There's a stripper in Baltimore. She got 3 breasts. Her name is Triple D. I'm going to connect the dots. I'm going to connect y'all so you have somebody to hang out with in Baltimore.
I love Mallrats, dude.
Yeah. She got 3 breasts. Remember, like in Total Recall, it made me wish I had 3 heads.
The whole thing. Okay.
I'm gonna set it up. I got you. It's good.
All right, sounds good.
Well,
I'll be there.
Baltimore looks interesting this year, that's for sure. There's going to be a ton of people there. And by people, I mean people that in our community. A lot of people are going. Sean's going. Drew, shout out Drew from Wanted Comics. I was really bummed out. I wasn't going to hang out with Drew. The Hive boys are going to be there. Yeezy's going to be there.
Comic Man there.
Comic Man Andy. Yeezy, if Yeezy's there and he's watching this, check in with us. Hit me up. I'd love to see if you're out there yet.
Yeah, dude, he's there.
He's there.
Is this show still like? I heard it's the best show for books. Is it still like that?
It was really good last year. As you guys have noticed, everything is just a little different than it used to be out there.
Yeah.
The good thing about, I talked to you about this for a second, but just like it's not as crowded, but that could be good and could be bad. It depends. So last year was pretty good for books. I didn't do quite as much shopping. We had Flipside had a booth, so there was like a lot of crew just sort of hanging out. It's like a double booth. There's like sort of a meeting place for a lot of friends to hang out, So that was cool. But it was a sales booth, not like an advertising booth.
Are any of the Flipside boys other than you going out there this year?
No, I don't think anybody really. No.
I was hoping they were going to do that. They were going to do that table thing every year from now on, because I know they did really well. They made a ton of money. Dino Z and made a ton of money off of that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not as many. Like I've got like as many friends as usual. I guess I don't know how to say it, but like you got if you rotate the crews, I don't know. It's like a conglomeration of every year. Sleepy John's going.
Dinesh is going to be there too.
Yeah. Dude, you guys see that email today from Bad Idea? Well,
Bad Idea.
From Bad Idea.
Yeah, the shit they're doing out there is Bad Idea. Classic.
Yeah, so that's some crazy shit. So you'll probably see me with a Bad Idea selfie and to piss Trey off, and then to get a comic book.
I almost wanted to hit up Dinesh tonight and be like, "Hey man, come on the show, man. Talk about the Bad Idea booth." But we didn't have enough time. So
yeah, I assume he's gonna go too. I mean, I know they're there, so I gotta assume he.
Oh yeah, Dinesh he already said he's gonna be there.
Yeah, he'll be there. They did a funny thing at New York Comic Con. They did I think that it was a Kickstarter where if you hit $2 million, it said "Stop Bad Idea," and he had like people picking up picket signs and walking around. And if you did it for an hour, you'd get some exclusive. But they were out of all the booths on Thursday, so it was pretty fun. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Barger yelling at some random strangers on Instagram for picketing that didn't work for him. But yeah, so there was a okay. That's funny. That's an
Yeah.
old one. 20 years. That's 2019. But this was a yeah. It should be a good show, man. Baltimore's fun. I'm glad I'm gonna go. It's kind of become. It always became like the one time I got to see a lot of people that from all the years of however many years, whenever everybody's all disjointed now, but I still have the same friends and stuff from CBSI all these years. So it was like the one time a year you could kind of get together um, and see people. I got like my West Coast guys that wouldn't make it out there, but it was my turn to get to go see them because there's not quite as many of us over here on the West Coast for I don't know why there's just not, but we had a little crew over there, so it's always fun. I get my crab cakes in the morning with the Red Bull vodka at Peter's Poorhouse, and it's not on the way anymore. But I don't think Drew's too hard to talking to an Irish coffee before the day starts, and yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. I always look forward to it. Creature of Habit. I go to the same places. Well, Pratt Street Ale House. Yeah, if you wanna find any of the guys
about 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you could find Sean over there.
Yeah, about by noon or so, I'll get over there. Because it's just just for food.
Great wings and lots of good beer.
Dude, we are live taking.
Bird City's gonna
Brian's
be,
live streaming us taking whiskey shots at like 1 PM on like Friday last year. And then it starts raining, so it's like we can't walk across the street. And I'm talking like gale force torrential downpour rain, like the kind that'll drench you, not like a little bit of water where it does. We're not having a wussies. Those people were stuck outside waiting last year because they used to say they did the COVID check wrong and had people standing in line for hours. And I think the world was doing it wrong. So whatever. There's not if anybody is whatever. If anybody cares, I did look it up just because I was curious. There's not restrictions this year, so you don't need to like the California cons have all been. You need to I don't know. Anyway, there's no restrictions. Put it that way.
Trey, we love you, brother. We love you, bro. We love you. Don't worry.
So we're taking shots. We're live streaming it. Freaking. My wife's texting me. We're sitting there. Who's that chick taking shots with you? I'm like, I don't know that lady. Some lady sitting there, man. It's all right. I always have people sitting next to me take shots. Let me be.
Oh boy, that's funny.
Yeah, it was fun. That's a good time, man.
One of these days, I'm gonna get Trey and Dinesh to share a beer together. One of these days. I don't think it'll ever happen with Dennis Barger, but I'm hoping
to have what? Share beer?
Trey and Dinesh share a beer one of these days.
Man, I heard Trey won the lotto. That's why he's not here today. He won the lotto. He said he's off for the first week. He'll be back next week.
Trey wins the lotto, has been winning the lotto every day for many years now, man. Let me tell you.
I heard Trey won the lotto. Yeah. I'm just trying to get some first of all, I'm just trying to get your address so I can send your birthday gift, Trey. Just send me your address, brother. So send me your address, bro. I love you. Send me your address, bro, so I can get your birthday gift to you, man. That's it, bro.
So the reason I won't be in Baltimore this year is because I found out after I had already decided to go a couple of weeks ago that my homie, my best friend who I do the Bogcast with, he has a series he's been working on, a pilot episode for a series he's trying to sell called The Sound Guy, and he's already won. Shout out to him and what he's done so far. They won Best Dark Comedy at the LA Short Film Festival, which is awesome. That was just announced, so he's going to be able to put those little laurels. Like if you win an award at a film festival, you get to put those little laurels on your shit. And he just got nominated for 2 more awards at 2 more film festivals, which is really cool. But the reason why I'm not going to be able to go is because I am going to the premiere for cast and crew. We rented out a Harkins theater, and all the cast and crew is going to go watch the episode at the Harkins. It's got a bar and everything, so it's going to be fun. But this is kind of cool. So I got my poster signed by the whole cast and crew.
Dope.
Nice.
Yeah, which is really cool. So this is gonna go up in the background, next to the Bogcast poster. Once I get that up, pretty cool. They only made like 250 of these, and they gave it out to like executive producers and cast, and everybody signed it. It's pretty dope.
Sick, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about that. So
What
will be.
What is it about? It's like a.
It's called The Sound Guy, and I'm actually I'll do this. It's there is a website. I'm dropping a thing in the chat, and it's basically a series that he's trying to sell, right?
Okay.
And he wrote, directed, and then he played a small role in it also, and it's pretty cool. It's basically a dark stoner comedy, and I don't know if I've shown people this before, but here, let's do this. So basically, it's like to explain it, it's about a sound man at a local music club, right? And if you ever have been to a small music club where like every brand of music is playing, like for example, you know, one night it could be heavy metal, one night it could be hip hop, one night it could be paisa freaking country Mexican music, you know what I mean? Like all the crazy shit, and then on top of that, all the little crazy shit that goes on in a small sound club, you know what I mean? That type of shit.
That's cool.
And it's pretty cool because the band that plays this song right here is like both him and I, it's our all-time favorite heavy band. They're a band called Willhaven, and we actually hit up the band and we're like, hey, like your song, or Keith hit up the band, is like, hey, your song plays a pivotal role in the whole series. Do you mind if we use the song in one of the scenes? They're like, no, you can use it as much as you want. So he used it for the main song for basically everything.
Oh.
I've seen my fate.
So the if you guys want to check it out, the soundguyseries.com. I think he still has some things available if you guys want to check it out and basically see what it's all about and shit like that. It's, you know, just basically about what it's like to be, what it's like. And Marcus kind of and Vinny kind of understand this a little bit because they work in the music world, you know what I mean? And they spend a lot of time in these type of places, right? And that's exactly what this is. And Keith basically worked. So the funny thing is, and this is what it says. It says, set during present time in Phoenix, Arizona, explore the world of a live sound guy. Long nights, overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and constantly disrespected. The Sound Guy is a dark comedy about the inner workings of doing live sound at a dive metal bar. And, you know, when Keith, so me and Keith were both former heroin addicts, right? And I spent 10 years in the world of that before, back in like from the mid 90s to like, you know, 2007. And he wasn't using drugs at that time. And then I got sober and he fell into it, right? And he got all fucked up for 10 years. And and when he decided to get clean, he came to me and was like, "Hey, man, you know, I need help." And I said, "I'll do whatever it takes." You know what I mean? I'll do whatever it takes as long as you're down to get sober. And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, if you are, you have to come live with me. And there's some certain things you have to do." So he came and lived with me for like 2 years. And during those 2 years, you know, he was getting sober. He, you know, found a job. He worked 2 jobs. And one of the jobs he worked was at a local bar here, a music bar here. And he would come home every night. And it was, and I got to be honest, the best nights to hear stories and to go hang out were at hip hop nights on Tuesday nights, man. The craziest, funniest shit would always happen on hip hop nights. And it's funny to hear the stories about how, like, when people would come in for hip hop nights and they would just give like a CD to the sound guy and be like, "Here, just play this." You know what I mean? And like, I don't know if that still works that way anymore. And I'm telling this story to ask you guys that, because I seen Marcus, you were just at a show the other day. How does that work when you go there? Do you just have, do most artists, just for like the smaller clubs, do they just have a CD and they go, "Here, just play this," and rap over their CD? Because most of these guys it wouldn't even be like a track without vocals. They would have vocals on it and everything, you know?
So the way that the shows work now, and the show that Bryan is talking about is for the people that are on to this new wave of music. We just did a show last night with Steve Lacy, and we did it at this venue called Warehouse Live. They were in the biggest room. The biggest room holds about 1,500 people. Steve Lacy plays with a live band. So, you know, so in order for, we were at Warehouse, Ryan. We were at Warehouse in Houston. When we got with the DJ, because normally we have our own DJ, we had to give the sound man a flash drive with the song. So it's not necessarily about giving anybody a CD anymore, because, you know, you got Apple Music and laptops and computers and all of that. So, you know, so you're just going to either email the tracks or have it on a flash drive, and or, you know, if your DJ has a computer, Serato, whatever the case may be, that's how, you know, that's how they're going to play it. It's not necessarily bringing in a CD to somebody anymore, because CDs skip. You know, back in the day, I remember taking CDs, and then, you know, the artist would be performing, and if the CD, the machine, see, Vinny is laughing because he knows if the machine is tender, and then, you know, they're out there doing their show, everybody get their hands up, and then the track is playing, and then everybody get their hands, and so, you know, so now people are booing because they find out that your vocals are on the track, and it gets bad. So
that's how dubstep was born. No,
that's how dubstep was born. Dubstep and EDM. Exactly. That's how it was born. Yeah.
I got to Atlanta, I think 2006. And the interesting thing about how music breaks here is these independent artists will go to the strip clubs.
That's right.
And they will hand their CD to the DJs, and a lot of times they'll go up there and perform right next to the strippers. And it's no joke when I tell you, it, like, a lot of the major artists in Atlanta broke that way, and they will literally get up on stage next to the stripper rapping, and that's how they break, because you'll have the radio PDs, like program directors there. You'll have A&Rs from the record labels there.
Bro, they eating lunch in there, bro.
The lawyer there. I was there. That's how I found a bunch of my clients at the beginning of my career. It's crazy. So, but yeah, they used to hand CDs or flash drives back then. So
that's how Vinny got sick, y'all. He didn't want to tell y'all this, but about a couple weeks ago, one of these episodes, Vinny wasn't on. He was at the strip club. He ate some bad damn wings at the strip club. First of all, I don't want booty and buffalo wings. I don't want it. Don't take it to the strip club. I don't want booty and buffalo wings.
No Lil Will lemon pepper. What's going on?
With a little lemon pepper with booty flake. I don't want it.
I want Vinny to take me when I get to Atlanta. That's all.
Marcus is exaggerating, but I will say that the food in Atlanta strip clubs is different, and it is actually pretty good. So
that's why his ass got sick. That's right. The food in Atlanta is different at the strip club. You don't know what the hell you getting. Is it really chicken? That's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll get on the way.
Do they sell lobster in your strip club?
They do. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I know. That's what I'm saying, bro.
No. Crab legs.
Yeah.
boil, like, you know, it's in there, shrimp boil. I mean, you know, like crawfish or whatever, that Cajun boil and ass. But just here, it's a whole different kind of smell. Garlic butter and butt. Just it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love it. So
garlic butter, butt, and Bed Bath and Beyond. No, what is it? What's the place? It starts with the B. Beautiful. What do women get? Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works.
Garlic butter, butt, and Bath and Body Works. That's what it smelled like in there.
He's not even.
Yeah, bro. Every stripper smells like pear. You know what I mean? That pear lotion. I smell like I smell that, dude, and I'm like, I'm in a fucking strip club, man. Hair lotion and glitter. All right.
Worst.
Do you guys see this shit?
Yes.
Oh, that was real?
It's not the first one, but I think it's the second one. You know, the first one, it got some blue in it somewhere.
Yeah, this is the new ones that are coming
That's the
out.
new ones. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a breakout upon its premiere in 2018, seeing towering box office numbers as well as very own collaborative Air Jordan 1s. Fast forward 4 years later, and we're only a month from the film sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, which is revealed to be receiving its own take on the Michael Jordan's first signature. Unveiled by reputable sneaker leaker Z Sneakerheads, Sneakerheads with Z's. The Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Air Jordan 1 is slated for the summer of 2023 arrival. So, pretty interesting. Let's see here.
Is it on sneaker? What's it going to drop on?
It says here, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Air 1 is releasing summer of 2023.
I'll check back then.
Yeah. $200. $200.
He said, "I'll check back then." 200, yeah, until you get it on StockX, and then it's 600.
Bryan sniffing all the strippers. You got to come out here, bro, and go to the bush dive, bro. Go to where?
Go to where? One more time. What's it called?
The Alaskan Bush Company, and get yourself a bush dive.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want shit called a bush dive. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Alaskan Bush Company. That sounds like some hairy females, brother.
It's one of the oldest strip clubs in Phoenix, right? It's on Grand Avenue. It's been there for a while. It's called the Alaskan Bush Company, and it was the first strip club I ever went into. I had a really good friend in high school. I was 15 years old. She was 16, stripping at the strip club, and the head cheerleader, I swear to God, Oh God. The first time I ever went to a strip club, I was tripping balls on LSD, and it was one of the greatest times I've ever had.
But you went to a strip club called the Alaskan
Bush Company
in Arizona.
In Phoenix, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of meat on that bone. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, the 90s, it was like that too, like in Nevada also. I mean, Jenna Jameson started stripping at 16 in Vegas.
Oh yeah, bro.
Like legally. Not Tracy Lord style.
Oh yeah, the Great Alaskan Bush Company, man. The Great Alaskan Bush Company. Let's see what we got here.
Wait a minute.
Picture, like, what is?
Wait a minute. Go to the first picture. Exit out of that. What in the twilight?
Yeah,
see,
I don't know what's going on there now, but
I'm saying I don't want to go to nowhere where it says sacrifice. I don't know. I want stripping, not sacrifice.
It's been a little bit of time.
Oh hell no! You got Jeffrey Dahmer right there. No, I'm good. You can move right on. I seen Netflix. I know what he do. No, I'm good.
The Great Alaskan Bush Company, baby.
Oh my God, the Great Alaskan Bush Co.
The Great Alaskan Bush Co. That is one of the most ghetto OG strip clubs in Phoenix. And they have a little thing, and they have these in strip clubs everywhere, but they have a little thing where you put your head on and you put a dollar bill in your mouth. Old school, bro. Old school. You put your head on like this. You put your dollar bill in your mouth, and you get a bush dive, bro.
Hell no! What? Let me tell you something. That's the fastest way to get crabs in your beard. Don't do
I didn't
that.
give a fuck at
Don't do
15
that.
years old, brother.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. No.
I got a story to tell you. I got an even better one.
No.
So we're 15 years old, and we're going to this place on multiple times a week, right? Because one of our best friends is working there. And we go and hang out. And she kept telling us about this dude, and we didn't believe her. And all of a sudden, she goes, he's here. And she goes over to his table, this guy, little goofy-looking dude. You could tell he's like in his 50s, just hating his job, hating his life. He's got like a suitcase and everything, and he's like a little suitcase. And he sits down at the table by himself, and he just puts a stack of money of 20s on the table. Right, this is back in '95 or something like this. And she was in those big fucking high top heels, right? And he would flip over a 20 and hand it to her, and she would stick her fucking heels in his crotch and just work it in his crotch, and she would hit him and slap him, and every time she would hit him, he'd give her a 20. He'd give her a 20, and then he'd get up and walk out, and he'd come on every week.
Yeah, see, that's because he ain't got nothing there. So she's stepping on air. But let me tell you something. This real. See, you got to know. See, in Atlanta, and only in Atlanta and Houston, I can speak of this because I know this. Wake up with a cold sun. Exactly, Johnny. Listen, only in Atlanta, Houston. I remember going to a strip club. No, it wasn't even a strip club. It was an Omega frat party. It was an Omega frat party. I was working records. I was working at a record company, and they had a stripper there. And I remember giving her $1, and she put my hand up under her treasure box, and she spit out 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and a nickel. She made change with my $1. Now we ain't gonna talk about the muscles that it took for her to keep that in there, but I'm just sharing with you that was a special trick that I will never forget, and I speak about that trick to this day. But I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't going nowhere. Just to circle back, I'm not gonna go nowhere. First of all, and I see one where my man said the strip club was called the Silk Stocking, but in his side of town they call it the Dirty Sock. I'm not going nowhere. Ours is called the Silk Stocking, but in the streets it's called the Dirty Sock. I'm not going nowhere called the Dirty Sock. In the streets, I ain't going nowhere. And watch this. You got to watch when you go into the butt naked, because the butt naked got the strippers ran by pimps. And if you're not paying them right, you're gonna see them get a black eye while they out there at the butt naked. See, now you're accomplice to domestic violence. See, you don't want to go there. So you got to be careful when you go to the strip club, and don't eat the prime rib. That's it.
Dude, California butt naked means 18 and up. Man, I went to the same club in Sydney, Australia, 10 years apart. Same chick was shooting flaming candles out.
Oh, no.
10 years later, same gig, dude.
No. Yes, I seen that too, Comic Journey. Them strippers that smoke a cigarette, like you seen them smoke a cigarette. First of all, I don't want that's cancer before you already know what time it is. The damn cooch smoking a cigarette. You seen that? Oh no, I don't want that. I don't want none of that.
I just started thinking of with you talking about that is the chick from what's that Bill Murray movie with the bowling, Kingpin? Remember Kingpin?
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
You guys get me excited for Baltimore.
I know, right? Yeah, now you're really excited. Yeah.
Let's go. I leave in the morning. You guys are in trouble. Whoever gets her Thursdays in trouble.
Have you done any quick research about what you're hitting out there other than the bars and the strip clubs?
No, we only went to strip club I think once. It was, but there was midget wrestling cosplay. It was kind of awesome.
I heard about that.
We might have missed out on. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, it was just me by myself. I mean, nobody else was going. But,
wait a minute, you went by yourself for the midget cosplay wrestling? Okay.
In case anybody's listening with their family, yeah. But I'll wear it. The research is honestly end up creature habit because I've gone like the last 5 years, kind of do the same stuff. Mm-hmm. Went to a football game last year, which isn't there isn't one this year, so not doing that. And that's only because my brother-in-law is a Ravens fan. No, I mean Pratt Street, Peter's Poorhouse, man. I got one place I really like, the the crab cakes. Maybe before the con on Thursday, if we can get the passes early enough, go to G&M for some crab cakes.
My favorite place was that little bar, that little bar that we hung out with, where I saw the mighty Casey at the Bat fall that day. It was a very rare event.
Yeah. That's, and see, my hotel is always right next to that. Now it's like kind of next to that because I finally got, for the first time, I think, got a different hotel. We're staying at the whatever is it, Marriott at Camden Yards, I think. So it's a little bit. I mean, it's right next to the con, but it's south of the con, where I normally stay north of the con, about 3 blocks. It's not that far. It's fine, but it's all within walking. But every morning, it's hard to pass up.
Bro, I'm so jealous.
Nice Rebel vodka before the con. We've had Pratt Street. We've had cigar parties just sitting out front. Definitely. I mean, we at least one night end up hitting the casino for sure. Always end up at the casino. That's one of the original trash can beers and Paul's problems. When Paul has the last seat at the table and then could not figure out why it affected the rest of the table if he like
split aces
wouldn't hit an 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hit your 12 on a dealer's 10. Nope, because you can't bust it like you. And then I took probably 2 years of explaining that to him, why that was an issue. Oh my God, I thought this old Asian lady was gonna kill him.
Dude, they'll fight you, bro. They'll fight you. Dude.
Literally the whole table bus. Right?
Yeah, bro.
Gets broke, dude.
Yeah, bro. They'll fight you for that shit. You haven't scooped out any exclusives or anything? Have you seen any of the exclusives?
I haven't seen the exclusives. I assume there's going to be some leftovers from some of the New York exclusives. I keep seeing online exclusive stuff. I literally just re-looked because I've been waiting on the Baltimore site. Literally, if you click on exclusives, it says many of our exhibitors and artists produce show exclusives available nowhere else. That's it.
I'm looking.
No announcements, no anything. There used to always be Baltimore Comic Con with their logo on it, and I don't know what's going on with the diamond stuff. I don't know
the Diamond Retailer Summit. Yeah, it's happening this year.
Yeah, some of that stuff. I got that. That's actually because Drew bought the tickets, so he got it through there. So that's the tickets I have. But dude, I'm not sitting through shit like I don't care. Like I don't care enough. Don't be wrong. If there's a crazy panel or something rare, find something cool, of course I'm gonna go hang out and try to get a book. But I'm just there to do different stuff than I am that. I don't mind doing that. It just depends. It has to be something cool. So, yeah, I don't, yeah, so we'll see.
I haven't seen anything cool yet, but
there were so many. Yeah, easy trash can beers, baby. So that will probably, I don't know if that'll happen again. I think we'll have to get a beer and drink it by the trash can just to say we did. We don't have to throw them away and dig them out again just to prove that it's available.
Yeah, Vinny keeps leaving because he ate them wings at the strip club before he got on.
Yeah, but he's by, what is it, Magic City? That Louisville lemon pepper, baby.
Yeah, that lemon pepper. See, he running to the bathroom, coming back. That's Vinny's in trouble, y'all. Come on, Brian. What we got? Where we going to be?
We got all kinds of goodies to talk about today, but let's get into some of the interesting stuff for news-wise today. There's a lot of interesting Bored Ape news and NFT news going on, and me and Marcus are going to ping pong on some shit. You ready? Let's
ping pong. Yes, this is good. All right. So Bored Ape holders traveling by air can now have free global VIP access, and basically what that means, and it's so great, right, is it's a partnership. It's a company, and I fly a lot, so there's a company called what's the name of the company? Give me a second.
Global Lounge Network.
Yeah, Global Lounge Network. I'm sorry, Global Lounge Network. And basically, if you have a Bored Ape or you have a gutter cat, you'll be able to access VIP airport lounges around the world. And what Global Lounge Network does is let's say for the United, I'm a United person, so I can hit all the United clubs whenever. If there's a United club in the airport, I can hit that. But American Airlines has one, Delta Airlines, all of them. I think all of them have one except Spirit. And Spirit is a la carte, whatever. But with this Global Lounge Network, you can pay for a pass And that pass will allow you to just, utilize their networking. You can go to any airport lounge in the country. If you have a Bored Ape or a Gutter Cat, all of that Yuga Lab stuff, you'll be able to just utilize this for free just by having an NFT. And what I'm getting at is that it's coming more and more prevalent to where there's going to be benefits in real life for your NFT or whatever whatever you have. And are you sending me one of those, Sean? I mean, I'm just trying to understand.
People in the chat are asking what was there. Sorry, I don't need to interrupt. That's why I'm saying it.
No. I mean, I need one. You know what I'm saying? Don't interrupt. Just send me one. Don't tell me, sell me, brother. I need one. So that's the beautiful thing about it. If you got a Bored Ape or a Gutter Cat, and really this is just the beginning of a snowball effect of things that are going to be happening where your NFT is going to open up other doors and other arenas for you. Just like if you have an NFT right now, you can go to the Bored and Hungry thing. Of course, you can pay and get a burger, but I think if you have the Bored Ape NFT, I think you can eat there for free or some stuff like that. I'm not too sure. But it's just the beginning of stuff. So what I really want to do when we do these things is try to tell people the shit that's coming, because I seen something the other day that made so much sense. And it said that the gold rush is coming, and it's two types of people. You can be the people that's digging for the gold, or you can be the people that's making the pickaxes. I want us to be the people that's making the pickaxes, so we won't go broke, period.
Well,
does that make any sense? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's very interesting right now because, let's be honest, the NFT world has crashed. NFTs have crashed big time. I mean, it's unbelievable the prices on NFTs have crashed, but there's no denying that they have long-term outlook, right? There's a long-term outlook for some of this stuff. And because of the crash, just like in comics are crashing big time. Cards are crashing big time. It's a great time to buy. It's a buying frenzy right now, right? For a lot of people, and you just got to be smart on what you buy. And I think the utility stuff is the key. 100% the key to me. The utility stuff is the coolest shit. But there's a lot of interesting stuff. This is a new thing that came out. There's a new company called Fragment, right? And they signed Boss Logic, and this company is making some big moves. First of all, Boss Logic, he's been made creative director at Fragment. I guess he sold his Mutant Ape also, which is interesting. But we all know who Boss Logic is. Great artist. He signed up to be the creative director of Fragment Studios. Fragment has also acquired Boss Logic's Mega Mutant NFT, making it's the 6th Mega Mutant IP to join Fragment's storytelling NFT project. He says, "I'm thrilled to be joining forces with the Fragment team and help leverage my experience towards the progression of their roadmap and storyline. Fragment's ambition to become the premier Web3 entertainment IP studio is one I believe in and I can help accomplish." So that's pretty interesting. What's very interesting, though, is this news. Jeff Boyson moves from Image to Fragment. So this is a big deal right here. Jeff Boyson, I hope I'm saying his name right, quit Image Comics very shortly after he published a variant cover to one of their comics featuring a Bored Ape NFT image that he owned. If you guys remember, this is one of the books that I'm on the hunt for. This is the secret history of the war on weed, which had a great pink cover that I was able to pick up. But I want this one, of course. But yeah, so Jeff Boyson quit Image. He's joining up there. Fragment owns 5 of the 12 Mega Mutants, now 6. But yeah, man, they're starting to pick off some of these important people, in the world of storytelling, which includes comics in this Web3 world. We've been talking about that Web3 stuff for quite a while now, and this is very, very interesting to see them pick off some of these people.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this before, but since this NFTs have become a thing, the comic world, publishers, artists, writers, creatives have all kind of looked at the environmental impacts, and they've really, really hated on it a lot. Like to the point where even if somebody does dip their toes in, all the other creators will just completely, talk trash about them and say it's like a waste and etc. But it's interesting because as we move to like more of a proof of stake model and there are less environmental effects, I think that the comic world is going to start opening up more and more to this. And I think it's only only a matter of time before we have more and more NFT comics or crossover types of things or integration between comic books and with NFT components. I think it's all coming very soon. But yeah, I mean, I think there's less of the environmental argument doesn't really work anymore as we move to a proof of stake. So.
Yeah.
And just to piggyback on what Vinny is saying is asinine to believe that anything ever stays the same, right? So there has to be progression, or otherwise we're not moving as a people in a universe or whatever you want to call it. So it's not your thing right now, but let's say 10 years from now, when you're going to need an NFT to buy a ticket to go to a game, or you're going to need an NFT, or you can still buy the regular ticket and it's going to cost you this, but if you got the NFT, you could have got the ticket for free. I mean, all of this is just going to start happening and continue to happen. It's just going to get more and more in your face. And even so much so, I was just reading something, and I gotta pull this up, y'all. If y'all give me 1 second, well, go ahead. You come back and talk to it, but I'm gonna pull it up. But Reddit is just jumped in doing an NFT.
Yeah. I'll pull that up. Let me find that.
Yeah, Reddit just jumped in and they're doing an NFT, right? But it's even more than that because, and I think it's on my Twitter where
is it Crypto Snooze? Is that what it is?
I'm not too sure.
Is this it, Marcus? Look.
Yeah, Reddit is doing an NFT. There you go. So Reddit is getting ready to do an NFT. But the thing that I'm looking for is where the guy was saying it's not in buying the NFT, because there's going to be some benefits when buying the Reddit NFT that you get, right? But it's more so the people that are in line that are getting ready to come. And when I find it, I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna read it off to you guys what I found. And that's where I got the whole thing from the picking, just like the gold rush. I was reading about it, and bro, it's crazy. It's crazy the people that are about to jump into the NFT game, and it's just a matter of time. Like even with Apple banning, because just recently Apple banned the whole NFT thing on their platform. So like if you got VV in an Apple phone, you're not able to like utilize it fully. I think it's coming, or they're doing something. But
I don't think you can. I think it was NFT.
The utility of it or something.
Yeah, you can't use them within the apps, I believe.
Yeah, you can't use them within the apps. But what they're saying is that Apple did that because Apple's getting ready to roll out their Web3 stuff. So the biggest threat is, the biggest threat is the regular way that things are doing. Apple wants to stay in the lead, so they're going to pull back and say, hey, we're not doing this. But once they get their shit together, then they roll out whatever their thing is. And, by the way, we decided to start doing it again. Yeah, so it's like, you just want to be open to it.
Here's another perfect example of what you're saying, like Frito-Lay getting involved in it now, too, with this and FIFA.
Yeah. So Frito-Lay has officially kicked off its interactive FIFA World Cup campaign, and in partnership with the metaverse platform developer Vatom, Frito-Lay is inviting customers to play AR games, earn exclusive prizes, and receive a personalized NFT featuring their own selfie, all in the celebration of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. So you look at this stuff and you look at like, okay, a brand as big as Frito-Lay jumping into Web3. And the study revealed that 66% of consumers would share personal data if they think it would elevate their customer experience, while 68% of marketers believe the metaverse will help build that brand awareness and loyalty. So what you're starting to see is almost like, Sean, it's almost like when we were talking about, people, when we're talking about Black Adam, right? You got the critics saying one thing, but the crowd is saying something else. And that's kind of what we're saying right here. The critics are saying, Web3 may or may not work, whatever. But the crowd is saying, hey, this is how we feel like this is a great way to engage, and this is a cool little thing, and we would love to be a part of this.
What is this right here, Marcus? This Azuki auction for most expensive skateboard sale.
Thanks so much. So Azuki is an NFT, and good, bad, and different. It had a lot of things behind it at first. Azuki came from a person who had a couple of things that didn't work at first, but Azuki ended up working. So what Azuki is now, they're doing these in real life skateboards. So what they're doing, hold on one second, let me pull it up because I want to make sure that I say this correctly to you guys. So it was an auction where whales bid against each other to purchase one of 8 golden skateboards during the brand's proof of skate auction, right? The Azuki skateboard sold for $2.5 million US. So I think they get a skateboard, but they also are able to do things with their NFT, with the Azuki NFT. So it's a huge achievement for both Web3 and skate history. So I think they get a skateboard. Of course, it's probably
you get a physical item, which is very cool. And we've talked about that before on here very early on when we started doing the show about how smart it is to pair them with physical items.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and so before the auction of these 8 24-karat gold plated, so these skateboards are 24-karat gold plated. The title for the most expensive skateboard in the world belonged to Bob Dylan, Blowing in the Wind, that was sold for over $38,000. As far as the skateboards go, this is now the second time in a complete golden skateboard. Skateboards hold the most. This case, the skateboard holds the most expensive title, with the last one being sold for $15,000 in 2014. So these skateboards are the most expensive skateboards ever created right now.
Yeah.
So you get one. So you get a 24-karat one, but then you also get to kind of level up your Azuki character on the NFT side.
Well, there you go, Solo Wookie. It obviously is made of 24-karat, man. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Worth more.
On that. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's pretty badass, dude. I want a tech deck of that.
That's nice.
Can you put grip tape on it?
Would you?
Yes.
For sure.
Of course.
My garbage pail kid shit I just got.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking A, bro. Put that fucking atom bomb shit on there, man.
Yeah, it's a great way. And again, and those are what the Azukis look like. And these Azukis right now, what are they going for, Vinny? What are the Azukis going for right now? I think they're like 16, 17 ETH.
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
And when you have it, when you actually have it, you have the you have access to the actual NFT and all the stuff that it does. So like when you have it, it may blow in the wind or whatever the case may be. It's really cool.
It's 11 ETH right now.
Well, it's 11 ETH right now. So up from or down from, should I say, the Azuki normally is like
I was 34 ETH.
34 ETH for one of those.
That was the floor at one point.
That was the floor. 34 ETH at 1,500. So 1,500 times 34, and you do the math. That's how much one was. That's how much one costed in US dollars.
That's crazy,
man.
And just to put it in perspective, when they first came out, you could have bought one for $200.
Mm. Well, keep an eye on that shit, man.
Absolutely.
I think Marcus and I mentioned this before, but like some of these projects now, they're down so much and they were at the heights. Did you end up buying an Invisible Friends, Marcus?
I will be. I'll be getting it probably in the next 24, 48 hours.
It's at like 3 point something ETH right now. Its floor at one point was 16 ETH. So, I mean, things are down. Of course, there's many NFT projects that are going to fail, but if you watch, especially during this bear market period, what's going on and which ones are continually doing things, that's kind of a sign that, okay, this might be a project that's going to stick around, or things that have a good presence at the cons like VCon or NFT NYC and some of those other conventions. I think it's important to watch that. I mean, I bought Takashi Murakami, the fine artist. I bought one of his NFTs, and they're constantly giving us stuff. They gave us an airdrop of like an $800 Lucky Cat Bank. They gave us another airdrop recently for some event that was going on in Tokyo. They sent us a shirt. This is all for free. They sent us a T-shirt, and now they're sending us like a Murakami Tamagotchi. And this is just, it keeps going. Like every few months, they're like telling us to just claim something. It's really cool.
You know what? I see Solo Wookie's post in here where he's talking about like, you could buy a Ferrari for that, and he said, I buy 2 Superbird 426 Hemi 6-packs. That's crazy. That immediately took me back and made me remember this amazing scene from one of the greatest movies of all time, Dazed and Confused.
Let me tell you what Melvin Coach is packing out here. I've got 411 track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, board over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
I love that fucking movie, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great fucking movie. All right. So yeah, interesting stuff coming on the horizon with that stuff. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what the buying opportunities are with all the recent drops and prices for everything, man. It's very interesting in all the collectible world right now. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just a correction. It's just a correction. Well, it's a buying time too. So be on the lookout for some of that good stuff.
It's absolutely a buying time. And then too, I just want to give you these 2 things. What me and Vinny are doing right now are going for blue chips that are cheap. Blue chips that are cheap. Karafuru is a blue chip. Karafuru. Karafuru. It's a blue chip. I think you can get one for like $500. That's your comic book money. You know what I'm saying? That's a big book for you if you invested in Karafuru. If you have, of course, Invisible Friends. Invisible Friends is a little bit more expensive, but you might want to jump into Invisible Friends. You might want to jump into any of the ones. Just go on OpenSea and look at what their top 10 is. And then you can just kind of go from their top 10 and go maybe top 15, top 20. And you'll probably see. And then you can follow the breadcrumbs and see which ones you need to do at the price point.
I think you can't just look at the top 10, though. You have to look at it over a period of time because the top 10 does it changes frequently with like the new hot flavor of that week. So there are going to be those hot NFTs or the long-term NFTs that stay in the top 10, but don't get confused because there are other ones that just kind of pop in and out. Piggybacking off of what Marcus was saying, cheap, Murakami Flowers is about $1,000, maybe $1,200. I think that's a great one by, of course, fine artist. Atom Bomb Squad, I think is only
Atom Bomb Squad, yeah,
$300. I think that's a great one. When you go to any of the NFT conventions, like that is heavy. That's a cheap one. That's probably the cheapest one. World of Women, I think, is very good. I'm trying to think of what else. There's some of those projects they're going to be around. So I would just kind of look around and maybe we'll throw some of those in the Discord, like our picks.
Absolutely, we'll do that.
Another one that is very interesting that you guys talked about recently, that is another one of those blue chip things. We've been talking about this a lot lately on this channel of how, put your money in stuff that is there's going to be either that you love, that you want to collect, that you really want to own, or that there's going to be a really good chance that people are going to want it, or there's a cool rarity factor for it. And one of those things that we talk a lot now, we've been talking a lot, but we're more excited to talk about now that Sean's here, is that the He-Man stuff, and this being the Virgil He-Man collector figure from Mattel Creations, which is very fucking interesting.
Vinny?
Yeah, you can start. I'll jump in.
Okay, so man, with these Mattel Creations, Virgil Abloh, most people, probably in here know him, but for the ones that don't, Virgil Abloh was a huge creative guy in urban streetwear, all the way up to like before he died, he was like head of creative for Louis Vuitton and a couple other things. And
did he do Off-White?
Off-White was his brand.
Yep, that was his like streetwear brand. Yep.
That was his streetwear brand, Off-White. Thanks, Awesome Sauce. But before he died, he was in a collaborative partnership with Mattel to redo He-Man. To the point to where this is one thing, the Virgil Abloh He-Man collector figures, where it's 4 of them, and it was crazy because they didn't sell out, and they didn't sell out because a lot of people don't know who Virgil Abloh is, right? But if you knew who he was, it's almost like, imagine getting Basquiat if he did toys. Before he died, he designed some toys, and these people were sitting on these toys. That's kind of who Virgil was, because Virgil has passed away. But it was to the point to where Virgil, he was doing like a beauty kit, and in the beauty kit, you can still get these. Under the beauty kit, it was a mystery box, and under the stuff, whatever you ordered, it was like a He-Man figure. So you have these figures that are floating around in the wild that were in this beauty box. But then this just came out. The Skelegod is already sold out. You got He-Man, Battle Cat, Skeletor, and Skelegod.
I think the thing that's very interesting is the comic book that comes with it, man.
Yeah, the old school He-Man figures with the comic book. I mean, this is awesome. I love it. And just to piggyback off of what Marcus was talking about, I mean, Virgil Abloh is really, I think, at the end of his, career or lifespan. Unfortunately, he started becoming more and more considered to be a fine artist. So, like in Atlanta, for example, at the High Museum, there was a full exhibit on Virgil, and so not only designer but also fine artist because of the way he was thinking and the art he was creating. He was collaborating with Murakami and a bunch of other guys as well. He did, I don't know if anybody realizes this, but he did a lot of stuff with Kanye. He did a lot of stuff with did a lot of album covers as well.
Where wasn't him and Kanye best friends?
They were, yeah. And then Kanye saw him as like competition, so it was like a love-hate.
At the end, yeah, it was weird.
Weird
at the end.
But this,
because he went and took that job with
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. How did he pass away? Do we? Because I totally spaced on.
I think it was cancer. I believe.
Was it cancer?
I want to say it's cancer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that this is the kind of stuff, whether you like it or not, if you're a fan of it or not. I know I see some people saying, I don't like the monotone and this, that, and the third. If you're looking at it for collector purposes, then it's like, okay, you'll look back at this, let's say, 2 years from now, when people finally catch on that this is floating around out here, and you see this shit selling for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because it's easily going to get there really quick. Then you'll be like, well, damn, I could have got it at $80. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing that I kind of want to put. That's what I want to put people on. It's like, you got to know exactly how heavy this really is, that Virgil got toys out here, and these people don't know. Like, my people don't know that this man got toys out here right now. If we knew, this would be sold out. No question.
This was like a no-brainer for me when Marcus hit me with it, because I wouldn't have seen it. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this."
Did they charge you right away, or did they charge you when it ships?
No, they charge you right away.
Charge you right away. It's gone. It's out of there.
Yeah, but it's just this intersection of fine art with toys or comic books and things like that. I think, we talked about that Hebrew Brantley sale. I think we talked about it when the comic book he did that sold for $5,000. It's just that intersection of things that we really like and the fine artist world. People are completely crossing over and buying these things. So I think this is definitely incredible.
And just to put it in perspective, that Hebrew Brantley book, because Vinny's mean, vicious ass will not give me one. I begged him over and over again. That book, when it first came out, was $25. People, because $10, excuse me, $10. And he's selling them at a Comic Con because the comic people don't know who Hebrew Brantley is. But the ones that knew, and they bought them up. And these books are now selling for, when I caught wind of this book, it was already at $700. When I caught wind of it.
The Black Boy Fly?
Yes.
Yeah, I sold mine for 100. So,
oh damn,
that book is now at $5. How much is it? Where is it at right now?
$5,000 or some shit.
And if you guys, I tell that story every time. I won't tell it again. I'll clip it at some point. But I think Sean might have been there when the dude from Mahogany Bookstore out in Baltimore area picked up that book from I think it was Z that was selling his copy at Baltimore last year. It was really, really cool to see. He was so freaking happy to finally have that book in his hand because of how rare it is.
Yeah.
And it was amazing watching somebody, pick that book up and because of how tough it is to find and what a big deal it is. So,
and just to put it in perspective, this guy, Hebrew Brantley, just to talk about the comic book, and we'll switch gears, go to where we're going next. This guy literally has artwork in Jay-Z's house. Jay, you name it. Anybody who's anybody has his artwork in their house, and he's charging them millions for the artwork. And he designed and he drew a damn comic book, sold it for $10. And if you knew, you knew. And I can't believe I didn't know, and it misses slipped right through my damn fingers. And I call Vinny all the time. I say, Vinny, man, just let me buy it for, bro. I know it's worth $5, bro. Let me just give you $2,000, bro. Like on some family shit, bro. Like family, bro. You spent $10 on this book, bro.
Family.
And Vinny said, yeah, family, huh? Exactly. You see what he just did? Family, huh? Family. Huh?
For his birthday.
Family, yeah. My birthday. No, my birthday today, bro. If Vinny, you got the book, my birthday today, bro. I need it.
Well, I got two of them, but maybe I'll find a price for you, a special price.
There we go. Talk to me, Vinny. Talk to me nice.
Check this out. He's got a sticker pack available right now for $25. So.
And them stickers, if you get them, them stickers tend to turn around and sell maybe 3 months from now. They end up selling for $200, $300. Like anything he touches, bro. Like it sits for a little bit, and then once it sells out, it's on.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of these things pop up, and I missed out on some of these when they first dropped, and now they've just gone crazy.
And understand, scroll back up. It's a print, bro. It's a print. This is a print. It's not original art that's selling for this money. It's a print.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. There's a badass skateboard deck right there.
Toys,
yeah, man.
Everything. So again, and this is just, and so now circling back to the Virgil stuff, what you're going to find is that just like that Hebrew book, these toys are going to do the same thing, because once people find out that it's out there, once people really know that that Virgil audience, once they know that this shit is out there, it's going to sell out. You're going to look up one day, all the shit's going to be gone. And then that's when they're going to come back and tell you, yeah, it was only 1,000 of this and 1,000 of that and 2,000 of this. You're going to get the numbers. You'll get the hard numbers on what's left out. Because Skelegod is already sold out, and I think which one is almost sold out?
He-Man.
Skelegod is already sold out. They say the He-Man's close to being sold out, but it's still available.
I blew the Skelegod one. That was the one I wanted the most. I was just gonna get that, and then you guys talked me into buying it. So now I got two Skeletors, a He-Man, and a Battle Cat. No fucking Skelegod. Oh, even though the only thing is behind something, it's too dark in the corner. Even though I got the Target Skelegod, $30 Skelegod sitting over there. It's pretty badass, but
yeah, dude, it's super, super interesting. So I'm really looking forward to see, where we can take it, in the future with some of this stuff. But I love the little extras and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. All right, did you guys see this shit? I think we all kind of knew it was going to be Abigail Brand, but it kind of got accidentally revealed that Emilia Clarke is going to be playing Abigail Brand. I was wondering who it was. I thought it was Hive, James. I was like, who do I know that's into designer Bearbert toys and shit like that? And I'm like, James. It has to be James. So shout out to James, Hive
James,
Comics.
we have to talk. I'm definitely into those as well.
Yeah, we'll get James on here one of these nights, and we'll get into it with some of these vinyl toys and stuff like that. James and Hive Jonathan are going to be both in Baltimore. Stop by, say hello to them in Baltimore. They'll be walking around and doing all the fun shit and hanging out with everybody. Make sure you stop by and say hello to them. All right. Yeah, man, I don't know. This is interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see if she ends up staying Abigail Brand through the whole time. You know what I mean? or she's going to end up being a Skrull.
Good question. Now that's going to be a good thing.
Well,
Now
that
you're talking.
Abigail, that first appearance of Abigail Brand shot up once the rumors started popping. Right? What was that? The Astonishing X-Men book, the first appearance. Great cover on that. What a great series that was. If you guys didn't read that series, when it was coming out, you need to go read that ASAP. Joss Whedon, John Cassidy, just fucking excellent series. That's the series that really made me fall in love with Colossus and what's her name? The chick with Lockheed. With the little dragon, the chick with the little dragon that goes through the walls and shit. What's her name? In the X-Men
Kitty
universe?
Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. Thank you. That's the series that made me really like Kitty Pryde. And if you remember, a spoiler, there's that one issue where she got lost because she couldn't get out of phasing, and she just phased right through everything and just kept phasing. It was a fucking great series. Anyways, go check it out. But yeah, Abigail Brand, Emilia Clarke, there's your X-Men news, MCU news, which is very interesting. Also, what did you guys think about the Silver Surfer rumors?
I love it. Silver Surfer is my guy, bro. Like, I love Silver Surfer. He deserves an MCU shot. He deserves to get in. I mean, and not that bullshit Fantastic Four piece, but like a real Silver Surfer. I'm in it. Bring it. I'm like you, Lazarus. Bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
And the funny thing about that is that the way they're talking about it is exactly that, where it's not going to be part of the Fantastic Four shit. It's going to be its own little special, supposedly, where they talk about, him as Norrin Rad. Shout out to Lewis, and how he got involved in the whole thing and to save his people and save his planet, and how he basically went out and did the bidding of Galactus as a herald because of that. And I would love that storyline, even if they only do it for one quick little hit, like they did with Werewolf by Night. I'm all cool with that.
That Werewolf by Night was amazing, bro. Like, I sat and watched it. It was actually really decent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, as a one-off, that was really decent.
And what's also interesting about that is I forget who mentioned it the other week when we were talking about it. Or maybe it was Saturday night when we were talking about. Oh, what do you got, man? What are you doing?
Just anytime y'all want to see Galactus as Venomized, I got him right here.
It's crazy.
Anytime you want to see Galactus Venomized, I got him right here.
Well, speaking of that, Jim Lee was at the Black Adam premiere.
He absolutely was.
And it was kind of cool to see that. What did you guys think of Black Adam?
It was amazing. I was texting Jim while I was in the movie because
you can.
Absolutely. Because I can. Absolutely. That's not a lie. That's real talk. No, but he was, man. He was like, hey, stay to the end. Stay to the end. You're gonna like the end. And then I seen the end, and at this point, if you haven't seen the end, you already know there's a scene where they brought Henry back and Superman is back.
Some alien.
Yeah. But I mean, the way they did it was so live because Amanda was like, you got my attention now. What you want to do? You got to stay in. You got to stay in Kahndaq. If you leave out of there, I got some people. And then The Rock was like, hey, ain't nobody on Earth that could do it. And she was like, I can make a phone call, get some people from out of town to come see you. And then he was like, man, we're gonna send them on over, player. How I do it. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, she's like, as you wish. Thing blow. I mean, he electrocutes it, zow, and then then Superman come up, but Superman said some of the coldest shit. He was like, I ain't got a call like this in a long time, pimp. But me and you need to have a conversation. So, and then it goes off. So it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a great movie. Great movie. I I gotta get mad at the people that critique it, like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, because most times they will deter people from coming to the movie. But Sean, shout out Sean. Me and Sean were talking about it because Sean was like, bro, the crowd is giving it a 90%. Rotten Tomatoes are saying 40%. I'm going to see the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when he saw it, he hit me. He was like, bro, it was an amazing movie, bro. It was so dope. So it's a great movie. It's a great movie. I think The Rock did a great job. He was I think it was a little too much, but just the pairing of everybody. Dr. Fate was great. Oh yeah, Black Panther reactions later tonight. World premiere going on right now. I heard, Lewis. I'm ready to see that. But yeah, it's so much going on with that movie. I think DC found their Black Panther and Hawkman because Hawkman was actually really funny in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Because, if they want to try to do, because everybody trying to make a comparison or whatever the case may be. So I heard a lot of people saying, oh, man, Hawkman is their Black Panthers. He got all the money, whatever. I felt more X-Men-ish with the house than Black Panther, if that make any sense. Sean, what you think? What you thought about it?
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, I really liked it. I liked it more than I thought I was gonna like it for sure. And I didn't go in thinking I wasn't gonna like it or something like that. I liked the audience score. I'm cool with The Rock. Well, I mean, honestly, I got to know The Rock in Attitude Era, so I'm always gonna have a soft spot for The Rock. I know he works hard. I know he's a nice guy. So apparently. So that sort of makes me feel I don't know, like more positive about the action stuff that he does. I liked his fighting style. He's a badass at Superman-ish, but something stiffer but somehow faster. Like basically his first fight scene when it's almost like he's Flash Force. That everything's in slow motion.
Yeah,
and basically whoops up basically realize that all that happens in about 2 seconds. It's just freaking badass, and he never thought he'd be free. You don't know if mentally he was awake down there, I guess, or wherever he was at. So I like the style. I like the actors. I like that Mo Amer was in it. I liked I don't know. I liked it all around. I liked the casting. I think the casting was good. The kid was good. The lead actress was good. She was fine too. She was fine. Yeah. There's that. Justice Society was good. I don't know. I don't think they really. The only thing I just ain't that big a complaint. They didn't need the little love story kind of whatever it was going on.
Between that was kind of weird and. Yeah, that was a little
unnecessary. That part was whatever. To be honest, they weren't that necessary. His mask is so close to Deadpool's and it kept being so big that it kept making me think of Deadpool, but even though it's different color. Dr. Fate was great. Hawkman was great. And I think everybody knows all these people in the movie, so I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to talk about the first fight scene. And if you haven't figured out the extra credit scene by now, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, spoilers are, if you don't want to hear spoilers, you're listening to the wrong fucking channel. You're subscribed to the wrong channel.
It came out Friday. I'm not big on spoilers, like mega spoilers pre-movie. I'm definitely not going to talk about the ending of the movie if I get to see it a day early or something like that. But this is Wednesday, and I'm not going to talk about. I like the way that they brought it back historically. For him, again, try not too much. The end, I don't want to spoil. We can kind of figure out.
Well, did you hear where?
Because we know what kind of movie it is, and that there's going to be another one.
Did you hear where Pierce Brosnan has actually come out and said that he wouldn't be surprised if he's in the next movie?
No, but
interesting.
They could easily do that.
Fuck yeah, magic, bro. Let's bring the DC. A lot of people are saying
give a shit either. No one would give a shit in a negative way.
Justice League Dark. Let's bring all that magic shit in, man.
Dude.
Let me just say, and Sean, Pierce Brosnan. First of all, man, James Bond, man. Fuck everything else, bro. It was hard for me to see him anything other than James Bond until he did Dr. Fate. He killed this Dr. Fate, bro. Like, he did a great job with Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just I'm sorry. I had to give props where props is due, bro. Like he did it. He did a great job.
Well, what did you know? It's funny. Were we talking about this on here last week? It was some show we were talking about it, and I remember somebody asked, what do I think about? Would it be good if James Gunn? Because we were all saying, James Gunn would be perfect for this role, and I'm one of the few people that says, nah, I don't think James Gunn would be perfect to be the DC, Kevin Feige. I don't want DC to be funny, and I think James Gunn has to make everything funny, and I don't want DC to be funny. I want DC to be dark, edgy, brooding. Like Batman can't be fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I'm cool with funny, haha. Every once in a while, Peacemaker's funny, but I don't want to turn this into Thor: Love and Thunder. You know what I mean?
But I'll be honest though, James Gunn does make good movies, so I'm happy to have somebody at the head of it who has some consistency, because DC has just been like a shit show for we've been watching it for years, right? It's just like we just hoping that something is done right, and I don't know. He may not take that approach either. He may not take like the funny approach to everything. I think. I don't think anybody is seeing a Batman movie as a funny, kind of gag movie. But I think every certain characters allow for that. But I don't think it's going to go that direction completely. So I'm just happy that there's somebody who's good.
Well, here's to me what the best thing about James Gunn is. Look at that shirt he's wearing.
Yeah.
What the best thing? Shout out to Alex Pardee. The best thing about James Gunn to me is that he is an actor's director, right? Every actor that works for him love him. He brings out the best in his actors. You listen to all the people that talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, and remember all the shit that went down with James Gunn and how they tried to Me Too him and all that shit. And all the Guardians of the Galaxy actors are like, fuck that. If you guys get rid of James Gunn, we're done. We're donezo. And they stuck by him because of how much all his actors respect him and all that shit. So I respect that. I'm the type of person that loves a baseball manager that's a player's manager. You know what I mean? Like, to me, those are always the best managers. So I'm cool with it on the same thing with directors and stuff. If the actors like the director, then they'll put more into it, in my opinion. So it'll be very interesting.
Also, it could be his projects. I don't think he has to make it funny.
Yeah.
Guardians, Peacemaker, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think he's got a lot of talent. I'm happy he's the guy.
And let's face it, as comic collectors, right?
Holiday special. Did you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, they I forget his name.
Drax?
No, this dude right here. That dude.
Oh, okay.
I forget that guy's
he's
name.
He's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, but like he just doesn't seem like one of the characters to play off of. But that's what James Gunn likes, right? James Gunn's always been that guy to grab those characters that people wouldn't necessarily think those are the players to play off of, right?
Yeah, I thought that's his brother in real life, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
I didn't know that.
Kraglin, that's Kraglin.
Thank you. Yeah. So very interesting. We'll see how it plays out. It should be good. Kevin Feige and Marvel can, we can complain about some of the stuff, but let's be honest, their hit rates are pretty fucking high out there. Here's another thing. Speaking of DC, we were all worried that they were going to shelve Green Lantern after all the news, and I thought it was shelved, but find out it wasn't. But now we're finding out massively slashed budget and retooled. That does not bode well for Green Lantern fans out there. I was so stoked about this series, HBO Max Green Lantern. It's gonna be about Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart, and it's gonna be really badass and HBO Max style. I was fucking stoked. But now that they say massively slashed budget, I'm like, ugh. How do you have a massively slashed budget in a space opera?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it animated?
No, live action.
That's what I didn't think so. Yeah. I was like,
yeah. Jon Stewart is the main version that they're going to focus on, which is awesome. Jon Stewart is. We've talked about this before. Jon Stewart is most young kids' Green Lantern nowadays because he was the Green Lantern in the cartoon.
Yep, that's the one that they know.
Yep. And so It says here it's being redeveloped. It will now focus on Jon Stewart instead of Guy Gardner, which is fine. Fans certainly seem excited by this development. It does come with a caveat of reduced budget. In its initial report, The Hollywood Reporter recounted how Green Lantern was originally announced in 2019 as the, quote, biggest DC show ever made, with an estimated budget of approximately $120 million. However, the outlet explains that the show's budget going forward is expected to be significantly less, as HBO Max under David Zaslav's combined Warner Brothers Discovery is focusing on right-sizing its various assets. Ouch. Yeah. $2 billion. It says here, it was just this week that the Warner Brothers Discovery explained in an SEC filing that it expects to take anywhere from $2 billion to $2.5 billion in content-related tax write-downs.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
These write-downs are currently expected to include the 8 scripts that have already been completed for the first iteration of the show of Green Lantern. Man, that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. It says here that at this stage, executive producer Greg Berlanti, which is Greg Berlanti's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's like The Flash, right?
Yeah, check out. I think did Bryan Wood do an interview with Berlanti? I think he might have recently. Check it out on Simple Man. At this stage, executive producer Greg Berlanti is the only creative from the original version of the Green Lantern that is still involved in the retooled version. Writer and showrunner Seth Grahame-Smith, who penned the aforementioned 8 script, is no longer attached. Finn Wittrock and Jeremy Irvine are also no longer attached to star as Green Lantern and Alan Scott. So those were your initial actors, though Berlanti Productions is eager to get both actors on board if and when the revamped Green Lantern series moves forward. That does not sound good for us Green Lantern fans.
Well, listen, they can call me to come be Green Lantern. I'm going to just be Green Lantern with a belly. Like, like I could be Green Lantern with the belly, baby. Like, I mean, we can get out here and do it because, they're working on a budget. I come out there. We can tape in Atlanta. I go get it done.
I want a Larfleeze Christmas special.
There we go.
I do. Fucking Larfleeze is a bad motherfucker, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fucking A.
Absolutely. That's funny. You got to love it. You got to love it.
All right. What else do we got here? Let's get into some interesting information because earlier this week, we like to crack jokes on Rob Liefeld all the time. We were cracking jokes on his barber. How his barber, he's had the same haircut since he was 12 years old. He's got that surfer front haircut where it looks like he's a punk rock chick. Like how punk rock chicks will like shave their whole head except for their bangs. That's Rob Liefeld. Like Rob Liefeld, he doesn't have a part in the front of it. Like, have you seen like Rob Liefeld's hair, man? Like that's exactly what that dude looks like. It
is consistently. He's been consistent. I'll give you that.
Yeah, bro. Straight up, check this shit out. Like for real, man. Like he knows how to rock a surfer hairstyle, like a surf boy hairstyle. Look at that shit, dude. Like straight up, like
nice
bang.
And dry, dude. Nice and dry.
Like it's funny, dude. Look at that
or
shit.
Or not.
He's had that haircut forever.
Yep.
Straight up, man. Ever since he was a young kid, he rocks that whatever the hell that is. But that being said, this was on his IG. Yeah. After holding these in my possession for the past 32 years, I'm finally setting these pages free into the market via the upcoming Heritage auction. I spoke to Forbes about the pages and their historic relevance. Link in my story. Vinny, tell us what these are.
Yeah, so these are... So the way Rob works, he does like a preliminary drawing where he'll kind of try to lay out what the story is going to, what the panels are going to look like, where the bubbles are going to go, kind of, mess around with ideas on how exactly he wants to frame everything. He'll take that, he'll put it on a light box, he'll blow it up, then he might do another prelim, or he might just do, his full final version and then, get it inked. So this is kind of like the prelim before the final version, but this is just on an 8x11 piece of paper. This here is showing both listings. I mean, so there's 2 listings on Heritage Auctions now. with these, but this is showing both of them. He actually separated the two, so he's auctioning them off separately.
Yeah, and straight up, man, Forbes did write an article on it, as you guys can see here. Will rare early stage art of Deadpool's debut shake up the comic art market? There have been preliminary pages that have sold recently. I think there was some preliminary pages that sold that we talked about. I can't remember what it was for.
There were, I'm trying to think.
Was it the Cable cover maybe that we were talking about?
No, I actually have that.
Oh, you have that. That was that what we were talking about. It was something that we were talking about. Look at this. Look at fucking Vinny just out here just.
So this is the prelim after it was blown up. So the problem with this is that I swear I bought this, and then literally that week Rob posted an image of the small prelim of this, and I emailed his art rep, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
I was like kind of pissed, honestly. But I do actually have, from New Mutants 98, I have it's a non-Deadpool page. But what's cool is it's actually, this is the page that was used in New Mutants 98. And this page over here was just an alternate version when he was still trying to frame the page and figure out how he wanted it to look. So I thought that was pretty cool. This was on eBay probably like 2017 or something like that for a few $100, like $400. So I ended up scooping it up back then. But at the time, I didn't know, is this really real? Like, why is it that cheap? But I brought it to him at San Diego Comic Con a few years ago, and he was like, oh yeah, that's real. And then he explained the whole process to me, which was pretty cool. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about prelims? What do you think about the market for that? I mean, of course, there's a big kind of rush towards original art in general now. I think first appearance original art has been going nuts. We've seen it been going crazy this last couple of years. So, I mean, what do you guys think about preliminary art?
I think a lot of us that have been in this friend circle for a while have known about the prelim art. We know, we have a good friend. We know somebody that does own the preliminary art to the cover of 98. And so, we've known about it for years, but it really hasn't been something that a lot of people talk about. The smart guys out there like Vinny and other people were picking those up, when we should have been doing it. But I don't think there's very many artists that do this, right? There's not a ton of artists am I wrong? Do most artists do it?
I think there's maybe not like this, but there are, I will say, some of the original art pages that I've bought, they do come with like the preliminary sketch. Not everybody has the same process, but like I was going to show this also. So this is the first kind of drawing of Kamala Khan from Adrian Alfona. So this was just kind of like when he was doing the character sketches, trying to figure out what she's going to look like. He wasn't really sure of what how the name was going to be spelled, but that was kind of one of his early drawings of that. So I always love finding stuff like that. I think it's just cool, just to find that kind of process stuff and look into the history of where where the characters came from.
And that's exactly what it is. It's straight up history at this point, man.
Yeah.
Because and they even mention it in the article, Deadpool has made like $1.6 billion off of those movies and stuff like that. And that's this character right here. And this is the scene. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. And if this goes, what that's going to do to the other preliminary art out there, like the ones you got and the ones, our other friends that we know have, some of the bigger, like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the preliminary art for this page or the preliminary art for the cover?
I mean, I think they're both equally
as
exciting, right? Because they both have. I think when it comes to preliminary art, I think if you have a piece of preliminary art that has the actual first appearance of a character, in my eyes, that's almost as good as having the final first appearance page. And you have to think, a lot of these first appearance pages, like original art, a lot of times what you're buying when you buy that page, it's actually blue lines with the inker inking over it. So it's not even the actual real art that was done by the penciler. So it's become this thing now in the original art world. When you're buying something, you got to make sure you're kind of getting everything, because there's the blue line piece. And if anybody doesn't understand what that is, that's kind of like almost
background.
like a photocopy of, the sketch for the purposes of inking for the inker. So sometimes you'll buy an original piece of art and then you'll see somebody else with the, you'll buy the finished piece of art and you'll see somebody else who has the actual pencils of the art that you just bought. So that's something to keep in mind if anybody is buying original art. Something else I wanted to mention was there's been a few sales of the actual pages from New Mutants 98, and it's been a couple years. So the story page from New Mutants 98 with Deadpool on it, it looks like the last sale was in 2018 for $51,000, and then there was a non-Deadpool page from New Mutants 98 that went last year about a year ago for $93,000, and that doesn't have Deadpool on it. So
wow,
yeah, so it's definitely interesting. I think the other thing that feeds into this also is who the artist is, right? Like I think if you're getting an original piece of art from, I think Rob is starting to get in that kind of tier, but then he may make newer stuff that's just like, what is this?
It's terrible, yeah.
Right. But having think about having a full sketch from like a key issue by Todd McFarlane or Jim Lee or one of these other guys that we grew up with. I would love to have that, and just imagine how much that would be. You see how crazy people go over just like a head sketch on a book or something like that, right? From one of these guys that don't typically do it. So
yeah, it's beyond fascinating. And one of the things that I really want to we've talked about for a while and that we're going to do more often is to talk more about original art and get more into it. And I was just blown away hanging out with Vinny at San Diego and talking to some of the guys who you were hanging out with and your buddies, and the amazing original art that all those guys, including yourself, own.
yeah, for sure.
It was beyond fascinating. It was absolutely beyond fascinating. So one of these days, and I told all those guys I want to get those guys on the show and have them talk. And it was kind of cool because they were like, nah, I don't want to come in by myself. You got to get all of us on. I'm like, let's fucking do it. Let's get that going.
Yeah, no, these guys have like the craziest art you can imagine. Like just right there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I feel like I got some pretty good stuff, but it pales in comparison, honestly, to what.
Yeah, I made friends with one of you guys. I kept in contact with one of your friends over there. He's some wild shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. What were some other? Let me see here. There were some other interesting things that we were going to talk about. All right, let me get into this. Matter of fact, let's get into the market report. You ready? All right, you guys, for the market report for this week, for the week of October 26th, 2022. Let's do it. Let me get these going here. There's a lot of very interesting market report stuff. As a matter of fact, thank you, Vinny, for reminding me that we're not going to get into the market report stuff. We've got something even more fascinating, and that is this. Before we get into that, that is this new documentary that's on Kickstarter called Selling Superman. It's a featured documentary that's on Kickstarter, and as you can see, let me show you guys their Kickstarter. They recently released a new trailer about basically what it's like to sell a collection, a family collection. And this is a fascinating thing. And this is the type of stuff I love. And if you remember when we first started talking about the Promise collection, one of the things that I always said is there needs to be a freaking documentary on this. There has to be. This needs to be a movie. There needs to be like a real well done documentary on the Promise collection. And this is a perfect example. Now, I haven't seen this yet, this trailer yet. So we're going to watch it basically all together and see if it's something that we might be into. So let's get into Selling Superman. Here we go.
I was too busy raising my kids to realize what was happening.
Certain rooms of the house were off limits.
I would go over and you'd see like 30 boxes covered with a sheet. And I was like, what's that? He's like, it's nothing.
We don't tell anybody about this.
That was it for 40 years.
I had to escape. I remember seeing a therapist and I finally let it out. My husband has comics.
My father got the first solo issue of Superman from 1939. It was locked away for decades. He found out that was the second nicest copy of that book on the planet. That book could easily go for $3 to $4 million. I inherited over 1 million collectibles.
What's that box value then?
80 to 90,000. It's right here. My father had Asperger's, but not knowing it caused a lot of friction. It seems like ultimate fixation and hoarding. He kept collecting and needed more space and more space and more space.
You have no idea how oppressive he can be.
He was constantly neurotic about the security of the collection. We have each of them humidity controlled, climate controlled, multiple layers of security. He would have thought that was cool.
I'm sure his father loved him, but I don't know if Darren truly felt it. Nothing Darren did was ever good enough.
He made life livable, but not worth living. I divorced. I said, I don't want any part of them.
If I wasn't around, there would be a big dumpster outside and she would just own it. Actually, she'd recycle. We have no idea what's in that box.
Oh, wow. I need that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I need that.
So, where do we go from here? That's the question, right?
Comics are super valuable and they're booming. Why? Hollywood.
We're just still seeing the rise of the comics.
Who would pay this much money for such a book? It's fascinating.
I'd sell it. You want to give me $3.5 million for that comic? Bye-bye.
There is a little bit of responsibility to make sure some of this stuff is preserved. This stuff survived world wars, depressions, cultural differences, racial realizations, women's rights. Everything is reflected in these stories. I want to work with people that want to be involved in sharing it. It'd be amazing to have some of these key books end up with like the biggest fan of Superman or the biggest fan of Batman. How do we find those people? Clearly, trust is a huge thing.
Well, what if we pick them up in blindfold?
Excuse me.
If I say something offensive, it will be cut out, right?
It'll be very interesting, the kind of people that we deal with and what their intentions are for acquiring some of these collectibles.
One of my buddies came by, he saw the books in the hatchback, and he's like, oh, Hatchback Comics.
Kid and the dad, I guess. I'm the hatchback dad.
The stuff in here is worthy of being in a safe like this.
What? Are you kidding me? Amazing Spider-Man 101, 9.8.
There's 4 copies of it there.
You need a new safe.
This is unbelievable.
Each one of those books are somebody's holy grail.
I did almost cry, not gonna lie.
I never got to look at one of those while he was alive. And I really wanted to. You'll remember this moment probably for the rest of your lives. Father and son. We wanted to create a family experience. How it should have been. We didn't know we had these two until you just witnessed it.
Having that excuse to get back together and go on a treasure hunt. What an amazing gift that is.
I wish my dad was here to see that.
Son, speak.
It's not about the actual book. It's about what it means.
What do you do? Would you sell it?
It's the top of the mountain. I couldn't see ever letting go of something like that.
I just don't want to let my father down. With this collection, we're coming out.
I wouldn't sell it.
I would probably sell it.
You just can't.
What does that mean? I guess that's what we're going to find out in this journey.
That's fucking badass, dude. That is sick.
You're such a difficult prick, man. But, I mean, I did love him.
So,
I mean, it's crazy because I was talking to somebody recently, and he was like looking at a bunch of collections, right? As a person who's not a collector, and he was like, you can only be a collector if you're really just a hoarder and hold things for too long until they're worth something. You know what I mean?
There's nobody back in this project yet?
I don't know. I think that they are looking for backers on this. Yeah, I saw that part. But
and sell 3 comic books and back this shit yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck, you just hit like honestly what, $500 million in comic books?
Yeah.
Like fucking, you need $100,000.
I want to reach out to this guy.
What store?
Yeah,
wouldn't give them $100,000 cash for $300,000 in inventory.
There's only 27 backers. 21 days to go.
I'm not giving them money. Fuck them, man. They hit the lottery.
Well, this is probably
it just pisses me off, dude.
This is probably being made by somebody else, though, right? But I think that they're the subjects of it, right? They might as well just back it at this point.
The film is 50% done. With the filming, selling Superman over the next year, they will be finishing up the shooting process and post-production in order to release in 2024. I want to get this guy on the show, man. Holy shit.
I tell you what, let me find him. If you got a number, me and Vinny will get together. Sean, if you want to jump in, Brian, you want to jump in. We will fund this selling Superman, but we need to be able to come in and all get 10 books a piece of whatever.
Let's go.
Just whatever, 10 books. We want 10 books. Everybody gets 10 books. He got like so many books over there, bro. Like, hey, look, you get a Spider-Man. You get a Spider-Man. Like, you get a Superman. Yeah.
Man, do you remember those old those Toys R Us like runs where they would have the cart and they'd run around the store for like a minute or something like that?
Yeah. As a kid, that was like, dude, that was like my finding a leprechaun dream. You know what I mean? Just give me 15 minutes in a Toys R Us, man. I'd hit the G.I. Joe aisle first.
I always thought about that. I was like,
exactly,
dude. Drop all the video games in my damn cart.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like he's like, like he's pulling. So he's pulling some heartstrings with me and my dad, da 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 da. But then he's got these books, and he's like, holy shit, it's like I got these books, and oh man, what's about building this father-son moment, man, bro, get off the gas, bro. You are going to wipe your ass with the money that you are making if you sell one of those books, and your dad will be in heaven smiling, cheering you on. Sell that book. And it's just, but he's trying to be, we want to make sure it gets in the right hands. No, you don't give a damn. You want to know, is the check got rubber in it? And it don't need to have no rubber in it.
So let me ask you guys, if this was you, what would you do?
Oh, all them books gone, baby. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Them
My dad was a dickhead weirdo that wouldn't let me look at any of that shit. My dad was fucking cool, taught me how to collect shit, and still threw away all my fucking Masters of the Universe. All right. So anyway, his shit's for sale. That's not true. But
let me tell you something. Them books gone.
I don't sell it.
Them books are gone so fast that his ass would hit the street before his feet. Like that's how fast them books would be out, bro. Like what? $3 million for one book? Shit. Yeah, look, I'll meet you at the Circle K. Just come on. I got you. 7-Eleven, whatever. We can
at least in and out.
I'm not gonna lie though, it is hard sometimes to sell books like this when you know that you could sell it for $3.5 million, but then next year you can sell it for $6 million. Right?
Yeah.
Or
at what point do you jump out?
Not really, Vinny. I've never sold a $3.5 million.
I'm just saying that's just an example, but like it's what you were talking about with the Hebrew Brantley book. You sold it for $100. It just sold for $5,000. You know what I mean? It's
Vinny, look at me. We're not talking about $3 million.
I'm just saying, like. When you know they're constantly going up, it's tough. It's tough.
Dude, look at this picture. Look how the guy who's clearly going to fund this, the guy that kept all his shit together, like is the guy in the middle, kind of buff, obviously stayed in shape, probably got a family, whatever, dude. He's got a good prescription for his glasses. You can see, look at his little tweaked out brother on the bottom right in a beanie.
It looks
that dude's like, sell that fucking book, you assholes.
It looks
like the first guy in the video. Dude, that guy's like, sell the book.
I want some crack. Sell the book. I want some crack.
I love the part.
Sell the book. We can't give him $1 million. Look at him.
I love the part where they're like, let's just go grab some comic guys at the swap meet and show them this and watch them freak the fuck out. And then they find the two guys that like, the one guy looked like he was mini. Like he was like, it was weird. Didn't he look like he was like miniature human? Like not like midget or anything like that. He looked like a miniature. It was weird.
I'm confused. I'm confused by this statement. He looked mini. Like,
did you not see him, bro? Hold on, let me show you this, dude.
No, you either midget or you ain't, brother. I don't know how much. I don't know how you.
This dude looks straight
Buddy about
fucking
this.
mini. Hold on, let me show you this dude. Did you see all the Star Wars toys?
Yeah.
First of all, give it up for Goldberg.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's
I saw the same
Goldberg.
thing. Is that
telling-
Goldberg? I said the same fucking thing.
Goldberg
all right, right
from the
here.
family.
Watch this shit.
And
right
we
here.
all know that Boothie was at with those labels too.
That dude, doesn't he look mini? And he's the son, father, son, right?
He could just be younger. Like
Look, he's mini. He's
man, what's that little?
The same shoulders on these dudes, man. The devil father and son.
Man, what is that? What is that little ugly thing to be in Lord of the Rings? What's Goloff? What's
Gollum?
Doesn't he look mini?
Gollum is chasing the precious. Or
And you know what? Me talking shit about him, he's probably going to be the guy that's going to come on the show and talk about the movie. You watch.
He's like, let me check out what their show is about. It's got selling Superman.
No, he's
they shouldn't have left him.
Small. That's a regular table, dude.
Listen, they should not have did him like this in this pose. This is a terrible pause right here. This is a terrible pause. You need to go ahead and push play past this because he trying to look serious on a card book on a comic book table.
He's fucking mini. That dude is mini, bro.
Listen, he just needs some milk. That's what he needs. He needs to drink some milk.
Cheeseburgers. I tell every one of my friends' kids, milk and cheeseburgers, dude, they're good.
Yeah. He needs some milk from Danzian Dairy.
Oh man,
local Phoenix Dairy.
Man, listen, and how they get that milk? They get it from the Alaskan Bush Company. She's squeezing it, and you drinking it.
Off, dude.
She's squeezing it, you drinking spoiled milk, buttermilk. That's what you drinking buttermilk. I can't make this up.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's very interesting. This is the type of shit that I love to hear about. So, we're gonna see. We're gonna have to get those guys on the show.
So this guy, how many books do you think this guy had?
Bro,
100,000.
To see them pull out multiples of that Thor book, you know, that like Silver Surfer #4. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, get your dirty fingers off of that shit.
They're not even back and forth.
What are you doing, man? Yeah. Still though, those were clean as shit. That is a tough book, dude.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who I went to school with, and he's now like big. He's like a dealer now, right? Like a comic dealer, and he runs a big convention, and he told me that, you know, it was kind of the same thing, like obsessing and collecting like sort of everything. So now he only buys, I think it was purple cover, like books with purple covers. So that's it. That's just what he buys. He doesn't buy
niche collecting, bro.
Anything else is like the wildest thing. He was like, that way, he was like, I won't spend too much money. If it's not a purple cover, I'm not touching it.
So, and now this is a real thing that came up. What did the dad do that he had money for all of this? Because
great question.
They said it lasted through world wars, dude. He could have been, and he had Asperger's, man. That guy could have been so that he might be old enough, considering his sons look like they're probably late 40s to mid 50s.
Straight up, he was straight
so
up.
Their
MK
dad,
Ultra,
let's add 30
Philadelphia.
years. Let's say dad 85, 2022 minus 85 years. Add 20, that's 65. Yeah, he could have. Dude, we all know what the price guides look like for Fantastic Four #1. Send away $25. Like,
yeah,
he just, you know, and we don't know where they live. That looks northeast to me, but like that's a guess. So I don't know, man. I don't know where they. I'm just thinking. So it doesn't. It just we're thinking of it in today's prices, and things didn't cost shit back then.
He could have been the local weed man, you know, the dad, you know what I'm saying? He had Asperger's.
I would have solved his Asperger's, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have been the local weed man. He could have been serving weed and, you know, and brownies and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. The mama look a little wavy. So, you know, you just don't know what
it could have been. Yeah, you never know what a guy like that would do. But you know what? Also think about what it took to collect this, dude. Like, this is like, remember when bar bets were settled like off TV or a phone call? Now we can all answer any bar bet. It's like, don't touch your phone, and one of us is, you know, it's like that. So back then, now, you know, there's checklists and everything like that. back then, dude, you had to just you got to go by your memory and what's working. I mean, it was a little easier. I mean,
I used to call those
test for run for 500 issues in a row. Like you just count the 500, but like there's that. But still, man, like you got to remember what you. I don't know. He might have a lot of duplicates. Remember what you have. Try to figure everything out. First appearances, shows, prices, things like that. I mean, I don't know how much was the most expensive books at the original Comic Cons, like $500 for a Tech 27 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And not the equivalent of what it costs in today's money either.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing. I'm kind of believing what my man said right here. The shit wasn't free. How did he afford it? Another person said, yeah, but back then, Solo Wookie said, yeah, but back then 10 cents was a lot in the Depression. 10 cents was food for 3 days. This dude did something. I'm telling you, that man was pushing that weight in them streets. He was serving the people drugs. That's what it was. He was serving. He's a bootlegger. He's a bootlegger. That boy was doing that shit. That's what he was doing. He was selling that shit.
But they said he was having marital issues and all that too. He was probably also spending a lot of money he wasn't supposed to be spending, right? I mean, that's probably what was happening.
Yeah,
they made it out.
Clearly, they're fine now. So.
Yeah, they didn't know that like whatever this fucking guy could have invested that money in, he did way better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's way better.
Thank
off,
God.
Dude.
Thank God he did what he did.
That $20 he hid from his wife and bought that Superman 1 is now $4 million.
Yeah, he might have been an asshole, but man, he paid off in the end.
Yeah, he could have been selling Amway. See, back in the day, you remember Amway?
Yeah,
You got Amway. He could have been selling Amway.
How it is. I think that's kind of how we all see it, right? I mean, I think if we're buying all this shit and people are looking at us like I know my wife will be like, what? I mean, why? What is all this? But clearly we think we're doing something.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
All right, let's speaking of doing something, let's get into the market report, ladies and gentlemen, to just piss you off because you're going to miss out on a lot of some crazy shit that's sold, and it's just going to make you angry. So this is the market report for October 26, 2022. Let's get into it. All right. So we talked about it earlier today in the show, how just everything is just coming back to earth. NFTs has crashed. Card market has crashed. Comic market's crashing, And I don't know if we should say crashing. Like coming back to earth feels a lot easier. But I remember, shout out to Red Hood, who, if he's still in the chat, Red Hood sold recently, a couple months ago, he sold a 9.8 all new Marvel 0.1 second print for, I want to say it was almost $2,000. And wow. And one just sold the other day for $810.
Dude, I just had auctions 1 week apart and like market comparatively like 30-40% lower than the other books. Like,
yeah, I feel like this week's market report, there was a ton of that, Sean.
I feel like it just happened. I feel like because I was just kind of looking at stuff the other day and I was like, damn, all this shit dropped this much. Like, just kind of across the board. I didn't
Dude, that Thundercats #1 9.8, that was $1,000 book a couple months ago. And the Secret Wars #1, that was $1,000 book a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So, this is the type of stuff, and it's just absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Red Hood said he sold one for $2,500. How long ago was that, Hood, that you sold the 9.8.1 second print? He sold it for $2,500. Now it's less than $1,000, you guys. There's even more. Look at this.
I don't think anybody's dropped more than Kamala, by the way. I don't think any single book for any of her books.
Spawn 175, that was $1,000 book easy, if not $1,200. Now it's $589. That Saga, I can't believe that. A Saga 9.8 signed signature series #1 for less than $500.
Wow.
And that Black Cat Noir, that was like an $1,800 book a couple months ago.
That's an impossible book too.
Yeah. So
he actually made his signature look like it was part of it instead of.
Yeah, terrible, like he normally does.
Yeah.
So price is great. Look at that. Look at that Vengeance #1 raw.
Oh, that's a big drop.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh god.
And a 9.8 a Pena signed for $355 for that Punisher. That's crazy. That's a $900 book easy a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm over here canceling on the other side of my screen, canceling some flight plans.
yeah, man. This is not good.
Hey, seriously though, and I've been talking especially to friend Phil, Binge Comics and Toys. Like he's been telling dealers about price corrections, and they don't want to listen to him. And so he thinks that after Baltimore is when they're going to finally realize that they have to. So I'm going to see what's going on this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to see what's going on. I'm going to see what's going on this weekend because I'm like, let's be honest here. I know that was $1,000 book. I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, like obviously I'm not a book in particular I'm talking about.
A lot of dealers are looking
if we're looking at 500, like maybe we can do cash deal right now. Otherwise, like don't know what to tell you. I'm going to Pratt Street, calling my friends, have some beers.
You might be able to score some major books doing that, but it might have to wait till Sunday when these guys are like, I haven't sold shit all weekend.
Maybe, but like then the Raiders game's on, so too late for them. The Halloween New Orleans almost went to that. So
how about that? Look at that, Darth Vader #3, the LaRocca variant, raw for $400.
Dude, I had a 9.8 second print Vader 3 end at $130 this weekend.
Ooh.
Don't get me wrong, I made about $100, but because you know
that was
what I mean?
a $300 book easy.
I saved it, dude. It was the last one I sold was like $325 and market was $350, which at an auction is obviously a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, people in the chat, Noah's saying a reset or revalue is okay. The sky is not falling. Prices will go up. Let's all go shopping. And Solo says Stein explained it perfectly. Take 2020 to 2021 prices out of the picture. I mean, that's absolutely correct. And like I mentioned, like last episode or the episode before, if you look at the CGC,
check. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good.
I can't hear you guys for some reason. Hold on 1 second.
Okay,
go ahead, Vinny.
If you look at the CGC prices from like 2000,
I'm gonna leave and come back. 1 second.
Until now, they've consistently gone up. Yes, there are little dips here and there, but comics are. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about comics overall.
Oh, and one of the sales on that screen is mine.
Are they really? Which one?
Trajevic.
Oh, wow. Yeah. What do you think that was, Sean? Do you think that what grade do you think that would
There's
be?
a hole in it.
A hole in it?
Yeah, that's fine. Like grader's good day 8.0.
Yeah, okay.
It's not graded. I mean, I listed everything in there. It depends. Like you can go that could have gone 7.0 to 8.5, I think. And there's too big, and I've been seeing too big of discrepancies in what I've been sending. So I didn't think, honestly, to me, it wasn't worth grading. I mean, we can't zoom in. There's like about 5 color breaks by that purple hand on the bottom on front and back. And then there's a scuff perfectly along the wet spine that you can't see. Book looks gorgeous bag and board. Like if you want a copy to add to your collection, it's just not going to grade as high. But like if you don't have that book, like that's fine. I wanted about another $1,000 out of it, to be honest. I mean, of course, I wanted 10 more grand out of it, but got to be realistic about what you have there. So,
is that your sale, Sean?
The UF4 is mine.
Nice.
It's fine for the grade on it. It's fine. Wanted about another $1,000. Hey, dude, now I've got give me 1,900. Figure out it to play with the Baltimore. Try to figure something else out. You know, it is what it is, dude. I've had that book for years. Paid $75.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you got these out of the Five Below packs.
No, I never got. Well, they don't have those in California, so I never got one of those. But there was a dealer who got a ton of copies with another dealer. That you guys probably know who I'm talking about, and a guy named Lee would have him at every con, and he had them non-bagged and boarded. He'd have a whole bunch of them, a stack of them in just a bag, like a magazine bag.
Yep.
And he'd let you buy one per con, and he'd talk your ear off. You always remember you. Plus, it's like he's a local guy, and so And so each con, so you'd have WonderCon or it wasn't Revolution, but anyway, other local stuff on there. When I'd see them, I'd just buy one, and most of them would sell for $300 or $400, but $75 to $300, like fucking good deal, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like, you know what it is, dude. It's not like I ever thought this. I remember actually holding that stack at WonderCon. This could have been LA Comic Expo. I forget. It could have been Stanley. But I'm standing there with Trey, actually, who flew out. And I've got the stack. And I said, you know, there's someday we're going to regret not being able to leave with this whole stack, right? And he's like, you're for sure right about this, dude. And so I buy one. And whoever was near me, I'd be like, if you don't buy one of these, you're dumb. Because you can already make money. And you're just not going to get them. And didn't know anything about the Five Belows. But I've had that book for so long. And I knew the market's down a little bit. I thought I'd try to pull something out of it, run some auctions, go put some money to put back in comics this weekend. So we'll see.
Nice. Sean, I remember going to a show probably 2017, and the guy, I don't know if it was the same guy because he let me buy two, but he was selling them a stack of these for $90 a piece. And
it's Lee from Comic Man. It's 100% because all the leftover. He and Juan they split the stack that was left at Diamond. He paid $2 each for them.
Oh my god! Wow.
You know, and so if you guys have scrolled back on my Instagram, you'll see where I'll be pressing like 20 copies of this at a time.
Yeah.
And the hater websites, those we shall not speak of. You like throw fits, they're doctored pictures or this and that, and it's like, no, dude, I just. Look at them being resold after pressing and grading, and I was the one picking out to grade, and I would only grade 9/8. So like at that time, he would sell raw 9.4s, 9.6s, and do at $2 a piece do well for them, and now $40,000 9/8s with them. So that's it.
I bet you it was funny because I've had a couple of friends that were like, yeah, I've got like 5 or 6 of those. And they were like, maybe I should sell one right now and get my son a car a couple of months ago. Should have done it.
Yeah, dude. 9/8s, no. I would have definitely, I think in May, that would have probably been at least 38, maybe 4. But there hadn't been a raw auction lately. So you're kind of banking on that. And blue chip books haven't tanked like the other ones have. It's just I don't know what to think. I know Miles is the future, but I think live action Miles is like 4 years away. Yeah. So I'm kind of whatever. I got like 500 for a raw poly bag with real clear pictures. There's nothing you could pop in 9.8 or anything like that, but it wasn't a shitty copy, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
next on the list, we've got some interesting sales. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1, the Inhuck Lee variant for $1,627.
Still going strong. I missed this. I think the week after it came out, it was like already at $300, and I was like, I'll wait for it to come back down. Never came back down.
No. I love that Captain Britain right there. Man, that is one of those books that I think is a great buy. Even at $1,700 to me, that's a great buy because it's tough to get that in a 9.8. It's a big book. It's a magazine size book, and the paper quality on that is such shit. And it had a mask in the inside that's impossible to have still connected.
Yep.
That's a 9.8 copy of that shit, dude.
Yeah. Crazy.
So $1,700 on the Captain Britain one. And then of course we talked about the Batman RRP last week that sold for $10,000. Another one sold this week for $9,100. So
it's the same book.
Is it the same book?
So I did not verify this. Someone in the hangout with me told me they checked and it's the same copy.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
And why does it say Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's weird.
Dude, please Tom Brady buy this book. I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Next we've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, a 7.5 signed by Eastman, sold for $25,000, basically $24,700 for a 7.5. Wow. Yeah. How about that double cover Secret Wars 8? That somebody saw that on there and they just snagged that fucker immediately. Man, that is a tough book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love double covers. I love double covers. Berserker #1, the John Bourne Myers 1 in 1000, signed by Keanu Reeves. Perfect signature placement. Just beautiful. $24.52 on 38 bids.
That Keanu signature is like work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Yep. Another Black Panther 1 sketch variant, a 9.6, sold for $3,000. Beautiful. I like this. The New York Comic Con program guide, the Wonder Woman signed by Gal Gadot, sold for a 9.8 signature series, sold for $435. I feel like that was a great fucking buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Considering getting a magazine back forever and like how tough, and her signature is what, $300 or something alone,
or more. Yeah,
or more.
Another double cover, an X-Men 141 double cover. Holy shit, man! 2 huge double covers sold, and for less than $400 on that X-Men 141.
That's
man.
Wild.
Yeah,
it's major.
Next, we've got a major key issue that people just do not talk about, and that's Twilight Zone #84, the very first Frank Miller professional art from 1978, gold key. Very tough to find. He also did issue 85, so be on the lookout for 85. There's Whitman variants for 85, I believe. I don't know about 84. Usually, here's a little bit of cornbread for you guys. Usually, the best time to find these are in lots. So look for Twilight Zone lots from Gold Key, and that's where I have a couple of each, and that's where I always find them. And that's sold for almost $340. So pretty cool for a raw version of that. Bone #1 in 8.5 sold for $2,000, and then a CBCS 9.8 Clone Wars 1, not the variant, just the regular, not the newsstand, sold for just under $2,000, which is pretty nice for that.
Nice.
Next, we've got a really rare Savage Dragon. I say it's rare because I've never seen it. A Savage Dragon 156, a Herb Trimpe 1 in 10 variant. It's an Incredible Hulk swipe, and a 9.6 of it. Sorry, a 9.6 sold for $860, and I've never seen that book.
I've never seen the book.
Crazy. 2 Incredible Hulk 1 sold this last week. A 3.5 sold for $17,000, and then I think it was a raw or a purple label sold for like $7,000, I think. But yeah, $17,000 for a 2.5.
2.5, yeah.
This is crazy to me. And we talk about history in here. And when we talk about history, especially in comic books, we talk about good history and we talk about bad history, right? People love the swastika covers. They love the racist, Japanese covers from World War II and stuff like that. This is history right here, and it's bad history. And I can't believe that this was put out. It's a George Wallace giveaway calling for segregation.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, a little giveaway comic, and $356. Again, history. That's history right there. It's absolutely crazy. And you can find, we'll get into this a little bit later with magazines and stuff, but you can find like Hitler magazines, from like Time magazine. One year he was given the Time Man of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Hitler in the early 1930s or 1920s, and then 10 years later he's being called the most evil man in the world, which, I mean, that's the type of crazy shit. And you can find those Time magazines. They sell for a couple $100 each. So really weird history stuff. And that's why it's important. I think comic books have become that.
Absolutely.
The Punisher M&M book sold again. This is the XXL magazine, the one that came with the magazine, right?
Yep.
$365 raw.
I'm mad I missed that.
Yeah, that's way down.
Yeah.
2 9.8 Invincibles sold on the same day. Look at that. What causes that?
I'd cry.
Absolutely.
I'd literally cry. And the one with double the shipping sold for twice the money.
Yeah.
It's because the second listing said huge show on Amazon.
Yeah. You might be right, bro, to be honest. Like,
Maybe.
I can't figure it out. I cannot figure it out, man. A raw sold, I think, for like $800 too, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't the adding parentheses and things like that, don't they screw up sort of your search? I don't know. I go direct words. I'll do a dash every once in a while. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
that's weird.
I have no idea, man. Must be a bigger seller.
That's weird.
Some more original art. You got a Tim Sale original page from the Legend of the Dark Knight Halloween special, which, if I'm not mistaken, is like the starting off point for the Tim Sale Jeff Loeb series, right? That they did. So that's pretty cool. $2,000, 2,200, 22 bids for a page. 2 Bill Sienkiewicz original art drawings from 1988 sold for $1,648 and $1,377 respectively. Pretty damn cool for old school Bill Sienkiewicz work. This is cool right here. This is, to me, one of the coolest things, and I talked to a couple people on IG who said they were bidding on it. The very first ever Wizard Guide to Comics, the Ashcan edition, sold for $921.
That's awesome. Does anybody know where this was, or was it given out?
I have no idea about it. I've never seen it ever. I didn't even know.
Talked about this earlier. The same sale earlier this week, and people just didn't fucking know. I feel like I've heard about it. I feel like it's a story that I knew, or like at least I saw a listing that explained it better back in like prior, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to also show people what the originals that we know of sell for. A raw guide to Comic Cons, the San Diego collector version, which has the stamp on it. You guys can see it by Spidey's foot. That's the rare version that gave it out at San Diego Comic Con. And a lot of those, if you own that and you've never looked, make sure to look in the poster on the inside. It's got a poster of that, and a lot of those are signed. I have 2 of them, and McFarlane signed both of my posters.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And then a 9.2 sold of the regular for $380. Here's some more history stuff. I was thinking about this earlier today about like it would be cool to find out like the very first time they showed like with Wizard of Oz stuff with Dorothy, Judy Garland. Here's a Movie Life magazine from August of 1939 with her on the cover, sold for $350. It'd be pretty cool to find out like what was the first time you ever saw, the movie being talked about, the second movie that they made in 39. There was an original silent black and white movie that's really weird, but the one we all know and love. It'd be very interesting to find out like when they first started talking about that. I don't know what this Nintendo Power is, the Star Wars Rebel Strike Nintendo Power, but it sold for $224. I don't know why. It has the inserts in the poster, which is weird. I don't get it. It looks a little tore up, and I can't believe it sold for that. So if anybody in the chat or that's catching this on the rewind knows, let us know in the comments below why that one sells for so much. It could be something special. I don't know. But here's another cool thing. It's a Cavalier magazine from 1972 where Stephen King wrote under a pseudonym. Now, I don't know if that's the first time he ever wrote anything in a magazine or anything.
Richard Bachman?
I don't know. It could be.
That was his pen name, right?
Yep. And this is fascinating to me. So if anybody knows about this, when the first time Stephen King wrote, because I know he did things as a kid, he sent in things to magazines and stuff. So that's a very cool thing to look for. If that's the first one, that Cavalier magazine, be on the lookout for that. $305 on 15 bids. We got more that we're going to talk about coming up on this type of stuff. I talked about on Saturday night's manga time. We talked about the Shonen Jump. There's a really great IG that I love to follow that keys in on all the early Shonen Jumps. And we actually talked about Vinny had his little thing happen with the Astro Boy. Did you end up picking that one up that you saw?
I'm still looking. I did pick up the one that I saw. So Topher and Clint Jocelyn made that top 10 manga list, and I found what they had as the first appearance of Astro Boy, which is a super dope book. It was from, I think, 1962.
Yep.
But I found out that that's a reprint from 1952. So it had Astro Boy on the cover, but there's an actual there's another copy of Shonen magazine that actually had Astro Boy. So I'm still looking. So when I find it, I'm going to or maybe even before that, I'm going to do a deep dive on that so you guys know a little bit more about
Well, I don't know if you saw the one that we were talking about the other night, Vinny. I don't know if that was the same one that you picked up. I'm going to show it to you here in a second here if I can find it.
Yeah.
But there is this amazing, I'm going to start looking into picking up. To me, this is the collecting focus for return on your investment. This is the stuff. And this is the one right here that I thought might be it. And you can let me know. Is this the one that you saw? This is the prototype from Shonen Magazine 1951 number 7.
Yeah, so this is okay, so there's a 1952 one. This is before Astro Boy was called Astro Boy, so he was called Ambassador Adam back then, but yes, I'm targeting that also.
Yeah. So this is the one to me, this is the one to be on the lookout for. I mean, it's obviously Astro Boy. So
dude, that Astro Boy 1 on eBay is mine.
Is it?
The 9.0.
That's sick. Yeah. That's sick, dude.
Nobody sniffs it because I didn't ask for a whole lot of money.
Yeah. Well, here's a
like
Shonen
Astro
Jump
Boy.
with the first appearance of Naruto that I talked about. $365 it sold for on 13 bids.
That's actually probably a really good price for that, because these I've been watching these first appearance mangas for a long time, and I've just seen them go out of control the last few years. Like ones that were like hovering in the 200 to 300 range have just shot up to like $2,000 over these last few years. So
yeah, and they usually threw these things away. I mean, they don't keep, they just read them and throw them away for the most part over there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is something I'm so bummed out I missed on. A lot of people don't know about this one. This Carpe Noctem magazine collection. That one in the middle there is a very famous book that a lot of people don't know about. That is the very first Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Johann Vasquez did it for that magazine, and it's super rare, and it sells for thousands by itself. And this is a whole run of all the Carpe Noctem magazines, which are super rare, sold for $225. And then a Bruce Lee the Green Hornet TV guide from 1967, a Mexican edition. As you can see, it's got Bruce Lee as the Green Hornet on front. Sold for $409 on 5 bids, but it looks like it's in beautiful condition.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So, we talk about foreign comics all the time with Josh and Rob Fordham. These foreign type of things, whether it's the Shonen Jumps or the, TV guides, magazines, stuff like that, that's something to be on the lookout for. The Life magazine from May 13th, 1957 is awesome. It is the discovery of psychedelic mushrooms. It's got it on the cover there. It's a very famous psychedelic magazine, and it's sold raw for $398. It was immediately picked up. Super, super rare. Usually in just horrible condition, those can sell for up to $200, $250. This is really cool. Now, a lot of you guys know this, but some of you guys might not. Tattoo ephemera is super collectible, and it's just super, super collectible. And this is a vintage tattoo advertisement about a tattoo show, or I don't know what it is, but it's an advertisement for, to go see tattoos and stuff from 1877. Sold for $456 just for the advertisement. So pretty cool. Ephemera is so collectible. And then a 1952 Marilyn Monroe French/Lebanese magazine with her on the cover, sold for $530. Shout out to Red Hood again, who collects he likes to buy the old Marilyn Monroe movie magazines. Man, early Marilyn Monroe stuff sells, and it sells well.
I used to have the Playboy.
Yeah.
I did.
Number one?
Yep.
So sold it for $1,500.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Still.
All right. How about this, you guys? Big money on toys this last month. A vintage 88 Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder 10-back with the hard head unpunched mint on card sold for $18,865.
Wow.
Yeah, on 11 bids. That's crazy. But what's even crazier are those plush dolls. And we've talked about these plush dolls sell for a lot of money, whether they're Luigi and Nintendo characters or Sonic characters, South Park characters. They sell for a ton. And these three, that's Mario, Luigi, and Donkey Kong, sold, the three of them sold for $10,100 on 24 bids.
That's wild.
Yeah. And the most wild to me, you guys know I love homies figures. I talk about them all the time. A collection of series 1 through 4, 76 total pieces sold for over 10 grand on 45 bids.
Man, this is going to make me go back to my parents' house and dig through their attic. This is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Some more big monies. I've talked about the Beyblade stuff on here before. A big, large collection of it, over 140 pieces, sold for 10 grand on 54 bids.
Wow.
So, Masters of the Universe vintage Grayskull sealed in an acrylic case, sold for almost 4 grand, $3,888.
Beautiful.
Yep. And then a Snake Mountain, same sealed, sold for over 4 grand on 18 bids.
Get on the mic, dude.
Yep, I remember Snake Mountain Mike so much, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah. This blew me away. The Spawn Kickstarter 3-pack sold for $260. That is so low. Wasn't that selling for like?
Oh, that's just a fuck. Mine's in the garage unopened. I'm not dicking around. That shit's just staying there. Plus,
yeah,
I'm not losing money on it.
Yeah. There's no way.
I would tomorrow, but not. Yeah.
There's no way. And I've never seen that Mego Pocket Superhero Spider-Man figure. I've never seen that. A mint on sealed card graded from CAS a 90 sold for $383 on 30 bids from 1979. The Steel Brigade figure, we've talked about this a lot. Be on the lookout for the gold-headed Steel Brigade figure. They sell for a grip. Any of the Steel Brigade figures sell for a lot, but those blue-green bodies of the gold head sell for a ton, $469 for a loose figure. An Elvis Presley 1954 Sun promo DJ sample sold for $3,000 British, which is around what? Yeah, 3,000 US. So that's pretty cool.
I think it's
a vintage Kiss Halloween costume of Paul Stanley sold for $405 on 40 bids from 1978. And this is crazy. That Andy Warhol, the famous Velvet Underground album cover, a mono First State torso cover in shrink wrap version of that album sold for over 8 grand on 49 bids.
Probably goodbye.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's iconic art, historic art right there also. So this is kind of cool. I thought this might be a very cool like niche collecting thing. Old school posters for concerts and stuff where they used comic art, right? So there's a Doctor Strange comic art from a concert flyer for Boz Scaggs that sold for $175, which seems cheap, right? And then an Incredible Hulk one from Elvin Bishop, who I've never heard of, the Sons of Elvin Bishop and the Stone Ground concert with Hulk on it with beautiful colors sold for $250.
There's no way Marvel approved any of those.
Oh no, hell no. And then one of the most famous printings of a poster for a rock concert is that Jimi Hendrix handbill with the flying eyeball. When CGC decided to start grading posters and handbills, that's what they put on their advertisements when they first started doing it because it's so famous. That and the Grateful Dead Roses and Skeleton one. This one sold for $3,600 on 15 bids, and I feel that's pretty awesome to own that. Super famous. So Very, very cool stuff right there. All right, we've got even more, you guys. Let's get into this. Here we go. We have got... All right, let's do this. All right, let's get here. So some more comics here. This is super cool. I'm a big fan of the Spirit and early Spirit stuff. This is the Spirit magazine from 1952, Spirit number 3. Look at that cover, dude. It's got a lady in red. It's got a skeleton and a corpse. It's got the candle. It's got like it's perfect. You know, trade box, the title box. Very, very cool cover. A 7.5 sold for less than $600.
Wow.
Yeah. This is cool. A rare Fantastic Four, number 293, unpublished She-Hulk cover. I didn't know about this. Did you guys know about this?
No fucking
I've never
clue.
heard about this. Never seen it. Don't know what this is. So let's take a look at what it says. Unpublished, last issue by John Byrne. And I've never seen this. If anybody out there knows anything about this, let us know, because I don't know anything about this. I've never seen this. Don't know why it's unpublished. Sold for $710. All they say is She-Hulk variant cover, last issue by John Byrne. That's all they say.
It's
18 bids? Like, I don't know. If chat, let us know if you know anything.
Look at what this guy's selling.
All right, let's see here.
A bunch of bootleg fucking variants. Those fake.
What the fuck? Are they
fake?
fake?
Not all of them. He said just happened. He says warehouse finds.
Yeah.
At Kenny X Force, warehouse find.
Uh-huh.
But he says it's a variation and maybe a damaged one. It's got like brass staples, like the shit. Fake.
So this is a guy that's just selling fake shit.
Yeah. I don't think it's all fake. It looks like a legit account, but somebody put that Siege 3 in there. It looks like the ones we got from like Lithuania.
Uh-huh.
You remember those?
Yeah,
the ones
I remember those.
that
Yeah.
we got?
You and Dino got. Yeah.
Click on that Siege. It's fake as fuck. And look at his description. This is fake, but just in case it might not be. Now go up to the right. See, go down to that thing in quotation marks, the yellow thing right there.
Bidders be aware this comic was found, among others, in an abandoned warehouse, possibly a misprint. Wow.
Fake. The staples are wrong. Everything. I saw this another hangout. International Josh sent it this morning. That I don't know. Like I don't know. I've never heard of the fucking book though.
I've never heard of it either.
So
if you Google it, you can't find it. So I don't know what the hell that is.
It might not be real.
It did. If Recalled Comics doesn't have it, cool. I've never seen anybody really better conglomerating rare comics than recalledcomics.com. Yeah, I don't know. That one, I mean the page, look, it's like a staple on cover. Get the fuck out of here. There's no inside ads or anything. Look at that. Look at that white sticking up. It's just more bullshit, dude.
You think so?
100%. It's probably no. The 293. The interior looks right. Look at that shit. Come on. That was printed the same day.
Yeah, you could
As
see
that
the
yellow ass
print
pages.
lines. Yeah, you can
Outta
see the
here,
print
dude.
lines in it. That's very interesting, man.
Busting you out, whoever you are, dude. With your fake ass books.
Don't buy from Imagination Inc.
Imagine whatever that is, dude. I know that's why I said he's got the feedback, dude, and it's not bad. But I'm telling you, there's some fake ass books on there, dude.
He must have imagined those books.
Another warehouse find just happened to have that. The uncanny, all the Venom variants from 2011, 2012. I mean, you're looking at sold, but he's got weird shit in his auctions. Dude.
This is weird. The Last Galactus story. They put this. This was an Epic Illustrated. Why? How does he have this? What the fuck?
Because they're just making it in. They're just making it in a factory somewhere and selling fake comic books. Is what's happening.
Wow.
We got to look more into this guy, man. We need to reach
this,
out to
this
this
happened
guy.
this morning, dude. I was on my walk. Yes, I occasionally get a little exercise, and I was going through everybody's shit, and I was like, nah, that's bullshit. Some people
By
remember.
the way, This is a famous thing that a lot of people don't go after, and that's Epic Illustrated. This is the last Galactus story, and they didn't get to finish it because Epic got canceled before they did. So be on the lookout for Epic Illustrated. What is it, 26 or 28 through 32, I think it is. So yeah, 26 through 34. It's got the last Galactus story that they never finished. Yeah, we need to contact this guy, man. Let's contact this guy and get him on the show. I'm glad I'm glad you said that, Sean.
Get him on all right.
I want to. Yeah. We're gonna contact him and get him on here and talk to him. You know what I mean? This is interesting.
Since you're clearly bootlegging on eBay, would you like to come on and talk about it?
Yeah, man.
Because you found it in a warehouse. You found all these variants where they came out from 2011 to 2015. Some of the rarest things in the world that have slight imperfections and were misprints somehow ended up in the same thing, and then he's trying to cover his own ass by doing that and saying like, well, I didn't make any promises. Well,
that's why we need to get him on, and we need to get him on and be like, hey, you need to come on and talk about it so you can actually sell this stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just be for real, bro. Like, because
he's been
bootlegging books, bro. That's why I was acting like I was falling asleep on this, because my man is not going to come on and be on this show.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm going to try. I'm not going to try.
Well, Brian, you could try. And let me just say this, bro. I applaud your try. I really do. I applaud your try. And I think that you are super special for reaching out and doing that.
Like this type of special?
No, not that special. Not Goonie special, bro. Not hey, you guys. Yeah, no, not that.
Like this type of special?
That kind of special,
okay,
yes.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay.
Yeah, but no, but what I am saying is that, man, we are basically telling this guy, hey, bro, we know you out here on this bullshit. Come on and be on the show.
No, that's what I'm saying. We reach out to him and be like, hey, we noticed that you sell some really rare stuff. We'd love to hear about your warehouse line.
Tell us about this warehouse, man.
Yeah, just don't go watch our last couple episodes.
So somebody spent $700 on a bootleg book, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, just crazy to me.
Yeah, dude.
That's what blew me away is I never seen this cover.
It's stapled on.
First
is
of
it
all,
staple? It almost looks
100%. It is.
Yeah.
Look at he had the wrong color staples. See if he's got a centerfold on this one.
Yeah.
Just look at that, dude. There's no way. We know damn well you don't get the white inside like that with the. I mean, like those.
You can almost see the printing lines. You can almost see the printing lines in it. Let's see. Does he have a centerfold?
Bro, first of all, She-Hulk looked like John Cena, bro.
Yeah, right.
She looked like John Cena. Like, go back to the cover, bro. She looked like John Cena, bro.
Her muscles have got muscles.
Yeah, like look at the wristbands, and I just hear doo 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 doo. I just see that, like, it's like, it's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it says go to his sold listings. Let's see what else.
We already went to his sold listings. I did.
Oh man,
those are what we were looking at just now. Those sold listings.
It's bullshit, Joe. It's bullshit.
Yeah. All right, this is really cool right here. Babe Ruth Sports, an 8.0 of Babe Ruth Sports comic number 3, Joe DiMaggio file copy.
Wow.
How crazy is that, man?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I'd love that. I fucking love to have that. Babe Ruth and DiMaggio on the same cover.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Ralph Kiner.
Yeah.
Dude.
It says here, rare baseball comic book Joe DiMaggio cover. It is the file copy from the publisher. So from Harvey. So I thought it was Joe DiMaggio file copy, which made it cooler, but it's still cool. Look at this. Cerberus number 3, a raw copy. First appearance of Red Sophia. Sold for less than $300.
I mean, it's weird because anything, at least when I've looked, like back in the day, anything past number 1 is just worthless.
Yeah, but I feel like this one should be worth way more than that, Yeah. Let's see if there's anybody that wrote in that's famous. No. All right, this is another one right here. I've never seen this. Have you heard about these? These Marvel Authentics original art. This is Marvel Authentics Amazing Spider-Man number 1 from 1998. Out of 300, it says name written on cover, blank box on cover. Look at this. Have you ever seen this?
No, is it like
John Romita, and I don't know if it's actually drawn by him. Let's see what it says.
It's a DF?
It says, yeah, it's Dynamic Forces. And by the way, I have a message out to Nick Barucci. I want to get Nick Barucci on the show, not to necessarily talk about Dynamite. I want to talk to him about Dynamic Forces, big time. It says here, get out of here. What the hell? It says, Dynamic Forces authenticate this copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1 Marvel Authentics limited edition comic sketch cover as one of a specially limited series of 300 copies drawn by classic Spider-Man artist John Romita Sr. I wonder if every copy is a different cover because it looks like it's actually drawn on this. It looks like the trade dress was on there, and then the rest is pencil. If that's the case, and it only sold for less than $600 to have an original art by John Romita Sr., that's crazy.
Yeah,
So I've never seen this. Again, this is another one. People listening or watching, let us know. Yeah, Uniform 13 says that's OA. That is crazy.
I think it's just the
box.
Sketch. It's just the head sketch that's OA.
Okay, that's still cool. That's still really cool. What a great idea. Shout out to Nick Barucci, man. Always Nick Barucci with Dynamic Forces was just so ahead of his time, you know. Same with Graham Cracker's comics and stuff. That is great, man. Just the box, that's still a cool comic.
Yeah.
Next, we've got a Spawn #1, a CGC 9.8 signature series. But you guys remember we talked about it last week, the famous Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1. Here's what Todd McFarlane's original autograph looked like.
Yeah.
So if you guys see anything with that on there, don't worry, it's not a fake. It's real.
Oh, you can see that shit, dude.
Yeah. So that sold for $319, which I feel like that was a steal to whoever got that. Next, we've got, look at this, Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance Spider-Man, Upper Deck Stan Lee BGS 8.5 auto. I don't know what this is. 2015 Upper Deck employee exclusive Stan Lee autograph. So they gave these out to their employees. It looks like a card or something that was Amazing Fantasy 15, and they had Stan Lee sign it, and they gave it to their employees. Here's the back. Employee exclusive. Stan Lee. When Stan Lee helped to create Spider-Man Amazing Fantasy 15, he created a hero that has captivated readers for generations. Spidey is a spectacular example of a long list of lasting impacts Stan the Man has given to the comic industry. Congratulations. It is with great appreciation and gratitude that we present you with this employee-exclusive card. Upper Deck has always partnered with the best in sports and entertainment. We are proud to present you to this exclusive autographed Marvel comic book cover card signed by Stan Lee. This autograph was signed in the presence of a company representative or sent from and certified as to its authenticity by Stan Lee. It is through all of your efforts that Upper Deck continues to grow and maintain its industry leadership position. Enjoy your card. The Richard P. McWilliam family, Upper Deck Company. How cool is this? And if you guys don't know, there's a ton of employee exclusive Upper Deck stuff out there that is super rare that they still do, I think. Wow. So be on the lookout for that stuff. And this sold for $3,000. How cool is that?
That's cool. I ain't gonna lie. That is cool.
Ethan Van Sciver. This to me is awesome. Cyberfrog double page original art. Look at that, you guys. This is from, hold on here. It is from Cyberfrog number 4, 1998, I think. Oh, page 4 and 5. There's the original. That is awesome. There's the blue line that Vinny was talking about earlier. Look how beautiful. And Van Sciver, man, is such a great artist. Badass. So $3,000 that sold for.
Cyberfrog.
Yeah. We talked about Snatch last time. Here's Snatch Comics number 3, a 9.8 from 1969. Look at, there's Rob. You gotta love Robert Crumb, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
the Crumb's a fucking god, dude.
Oh, he is, dude. And this is great. A 9.8, man. Here's the back. So hot it runs a close second to the real thing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh.
So pretty damn cool. This only sold for $366, you guys, for a 9/8 first print of Snatch number 3, the original independent comic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. Next we talked about Halloween covers. We're going to talk about them more on this Saturday. This is a signature series CGC Halloween Night Dance number 1, signed by John Carpenter and Nick Castle. It says here, signed and quote the shape by Nick Castle, who played the original Michael Myers, and John Carpenter. Look at how cool that is, you guys. I've never seen this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. That's crazy cool.
Pretty badass.
Sold for $300. This is the Boys Dear Becky number 1, 4th of July variant, 9/6. Sold for $1,125. It's a CGC 9/6 signature series, but look who it's signed by. It's signed by Chase Crawford, Karen Fukuhara, Aaron Moriarty, Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr, and Garth Ennis, the creator. All the actors and actresses and the creator. Signed
by the way,
all of them.
I don't know if they have a picture of the COA or not. That 4th of July copy only has 66 copies printed, periods, all numbered.
Wow.
So getting it in a 9/8 with those signatures is probably fucking one of a kind.
That's amazing. This sold for $1,100, you guys.
Oh, honestly, that shit would be in my wall.
Yeah.
I've got the number to 301, but I want this one because the 4th of, I mean, it's the same cover, but it's the flag is the deal.
Yeah. This is freaking cool as hell. I'm a super fan of Battle Beasts. This is the original. If you guys didn't know, Battle Beasts were originally Transformers, but they hadn't. When they brought them over to the U.S., they wanted to break them up because they felt like they could sell them better as their own line. So this is, I've never seen this. It's called Battle Beast Laser Beast Books. It's from Takara, which is the Hasbro version of in Japan. They did all the G.I. Joes over there. Look at how and look how cool this is, dude.
Yeah, Takara was the company in Japan that partnered with Hasbro to bring it to the U.S. Yeah.
So I've never seen this. It's a magazine. I don't know if it's comic in the insides or what. It says rare piece of history, but it sold for $267. Never seen it. Never heard of it. I want one. Here's that Carpe Noctem that I was telling you guys about. Be on the lookout for that. First ever Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Look at that, $5 they bought it for. And it is the first Johan Vasquez professional artwork ever published. Look at this. Vintage Boba Fett with the removable rocket. It's the Lily Letty version, right? Which is the... isn't the Lily Letty the Australian version or Mexico? I can't remember. One of the two. Yeah, Mexico, the Mexican version. With removable rocket plus the filled peg hole. Super rare. It's a CAS 80. Sold for $9,000 on 60 bids.
Fuck yeah.
So if you guys remember, they were originally rocket firing, but they had to stop that because they were worried kids were going to choke on them. So... but some of them got out, and this was a Mexican version that got out. The Little Letty figures sell for a ton. That one obviously sells for a shit ton.
Yeah, I didn't realize they shipped them internationally, and released them there as well.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I talk about the Night Force figures and vehicles all the time. This is the Sky Patrol versions of the vehicles where they made them a shiny, like metallic paint. And this is the Sky Raven, which was one of the coolest ever G.I. Joe vehicles. It had like its own special, based on a real thing that they put on the back of the original Blackbird. It was a little plane that flew off the back, as you guys can see right there. And just a great vehicle, Sky Raven. Beautiful. Look at that paint. Just super shiny, gorgeous, really, really rare, tough to come by. This sold for $610, complete with box. No blueprints, though. All right, here we go, Vinny. 1987 NES Legend of Zelda, mint sealed, graded CAS 85. This sold at the beginning of October 9th for $17,877.
Wow.
Look how beautiful that is.
Yeah, I feel like that probably should have gone for more.
Uh-huh.
Might because it's graded CAS. I don't know, but
look at that, dude.
Yeah, that looks clean.
Oh man. That is just gorgeous. So I had to do a quick look to see if there's any other Zeldas that sold this last month. And this is so my second favorite ever Zelda game is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening on Game Boy, because it was basically, you know, the same as the Nintendo style. And this is an unopened Game Boy version, sold for $8,700 on August 17th.
That's
so great. Yeah. And then this is A Link to the Past, the greatest Zelda game ever. This is, if I could get any sealed video game, this is it. Link to the Past. This is a what is this, Vinny?
I've never heard of this grading company. You're pulling out all the random.
Yeah.
People
So it sold for $9,700 October 2nd. I've never heard of this grading company, but it is sealed. Look at that. Not for resale version.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So super rare. Must be some type of promo version. There you guys can see, not for resale.
I've actually never seen this. I've never seen
the company or that game.
No, well, yeah. I've seen the game, but I haven't seen this not for resale version of it.
So it says here, A Link to the Past was one of the first video games to offer an open world. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, very rare, not for resale variant and sealed. They were distributed to very few employees from Nintendo.
I can see that.
So that's awesome. That's cool, man. $9,700 on 43 bids. Look at this. Star Fox, the competition version. A 7.0 WATA SNES competition version, 1993, with scorecard.
Yeah, so Nintendo did a bunch of these like kind of championships and like events like this. So they would have like a commemorative cartridge that you'd actually use for the event, and then you'd come back, you get to take it with you. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that out there. There's all these versions of it.
And I picked this up. I put this on here because if you guys remember, Marcus is holding it up. Last week he showed us his Star Fox Super Nintendo right there. So pretty damn cool. This sold for $3,600 on 25 bids.
Wow.
And we got two more. This is a game bundle, N64 game bundle, sold for $3,700 on 25 bids. It has Super Smash Bros., Top Gear Rally 2, all complete. Clay Fighter, remember that game?
I do.
And Blast Cores and Super Bomberman and the Zelda Ocarina of Time. So a great little collection of games for $3,700. And then finally, we've all seen Marcus's Nintendo 64 complete in box.
Oof.
Which you guys can see right there.
Seems like we all have long arms on these shows, right?
All right. That's my favorite ever.
Somebody
game
bring
console.
some shit up. Somebody can reach it.
This is the gold version of the N64, the Toys R Us limited edition gold control deck. Sold for $3,600 on 49 bids. Pretty damn cool, as you can see there. It is still sealed. It's just perfect.
It's unused.
Unused.
Yeah, so VGA would grade this as qualified, just because it's been actually opened. But that's still great in my eyes. I think qualified is just as good as.
I agree.
Yeah,
pretty awesome. So that is the market report for October 26, 2022.
And what a great market report it was. I mean, we had some bootleg on there. We had some systems, you know what I'm saying? We had some good shit. We had great shit.
Well, I can't wait for next week for when Trey's back, because we get to finish talking about Judgment Day. Axe Judgment Day #6 came out or comes out. So we're going to wait to talk about this with Trey, the end of Axe Judgment Day. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you guys tune in next week when Trey comes back. Hopefully everything's going good with him. I want to say thank you to everybody that hung out with us live tonight. 67 live till the end. Shout out to everybody who's live in the chat. Shout out, by the way, to Laura from Bird City Comics, who is just become one of the best content creators in our community, in the content creation sphere. If you guys aren't checking out Nearing Nirvana every week, they do shows, multiple shows a week, and they are just killing it. And I'm so proud of what they've become and what they are going to be and everything that they're doing over there. And even more proud about what Bird City is doing. Make sure you guys go check out birdcitycomics.com. Just amazing stuff. Anthony's going to be in Baltimore, and Laura, are you going to be in Baltimore with Anthony?
She just said no.
She said no. She has to hold down the Bird City fort.
Well,
I told her I got Ant. He'll be fine.
Yeah. So very cool. Make sure you guys go show Laura some love and Bird City Comics some love. Also, make sure you guys go show Wanted Comics some love. That's Wanted Comics with an X, and of course Hive Comics. Go check out Comic Book Shopping Network and the Binge Bar with Jesse James. And make sure you guys sub up here and check out everything on this channel. Make sure you guys check out the Discord and the link below also.
We're giving away money. No, I'm not. I'm lying. We're not giving away money, but we are giving away knowledge and some other shit. But if you want some money, you want to get the opportunity to make money, join the Discord. You need to be joining the Discord right now. That's all I gotta say. You need to be joining the Discord ASAP.
Mark will be actually dropping those NFT picks, so we'll put that together and drop them.
Actually, on another note, me and Vinny are actually working on a super secret project. I want to talk about it. I can't talk about it just yet because we got to get everything in place. But we're getting ready to drop a few things, and you guys are going to be the first to know. The only way you're going to know about it first, though, is you got to be in the Discord for what we're getting ready to do. You got to be in the Discord. I can't say it again. You got to be in the Discord.
And here's another interesting thing. Starting next week on this show and every show that we do on Beyond Wednesdays, we're going to start dual streaming to Whatnot. We're going to turn Whatnot into our content creator sphere, right? And we're also going to have things available for sale during the shows. For example, I'm going to start selling mystery packs of sports cards. There will be, say, for example, next week we'll do baseball mystery packs where we'll have 10 mystery packs available for the price of, $100 a pack, right? And every pack will have anywhere from, $75 to $200 worth of value in it. And if they sell out during that show, everybody that bought a pack will be in a raffle for some major thing, like say a unopened pack of 89 Fleer baseball with the Billy Ripken fuckface card showing on the front. So, and then the next week, Sean could have 10 items that he wants to sell, and those will be available during the show, and so on. So we're kind of turning this into all kinds of cool new ideas, and also be able to show our content to the people on Whatnot and Twitter and Facebook and Rumble. Is it Rumble? Is that what it's called? What's the new?
Yeah, I think Trey wants to put it on Rumble as well. So yeah, it'll be on Rumble as well.
We're gonna start dual streaming to Rumble. We're gonna dual stream to everywhere. We want everybody to see our content and to be part of this community. And we're gonna make things available for sale during the show. And we're not gonna sell you bullshit. It's gonna be cool shit. For example, I'm going to go into Jesse James Comics. I'm going to go in and find 10, 15 items, crazy memorabilia items, crazy historical memorabilia, crazy toys, this and that. And they'll be available for sale during the shows. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to turn it into some cool stuff. So that will hopefully start next week. So make sure you guys are subbed up and keep your eye on Beyond Wednesday and everything we're doing over here. So shout out to everybody. We'll see you again next week. Let's take a couple quick looks, flashbacks of some interesting moments.
Tech guy over here, the feed's dropping out. I finally said, who the fuck do I gotta blow to get a tech guy over here? And they just looked at me. They all heard me say fuck, but they didn't send anybody over.
Dude.